This episode of the Procrastinators podcast was brought to you by our bonus episode. Go to patreon.com/theprocrastinators and pledge $5 or more to get access to all our bonus monthly episodes. Last month's episode was...
Guns are awful.
No.
I wish they'd never been invented. They're not good. This is my stance. I wish they didn't exist. No. I'll steal weaponry. Make me go, man. Make me go, man. Make me go, man. Make me go, man.
Ratchet and Clank is a good game. I really like it. I should do come back and make fucking hypocrite reviews like that.
Why not?
Kathy, what are you doing? I almost blew your head off, man. Get in here. We're having pizza, dude.
That's patreon.com/theprocrastinators. Giving you a boner every single time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Procrastinators podcast. It's me, a BGE, and we've got Ben Saint. Hello. Greetings.
Hey,
Yep. Give and take.
Hey,
give
every
and take.
Digi-née.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there it is. Digi-née, what's up?
I'm
dog?
a girl now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they tell me.
Everyone
How
said.
exciting.
Everyone said last episode. Why? Why isn't Digi on this episode?
I don't know.
To
Take
talk
the
about
fucking
that.
Digi.
I was on the Dick Show last week. That's why.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
We
I knew
happened
that,
to record at the same time.
but I'm not going to respond to every comment. So each and every one was like a dagger in my heart.
Indeed. It was deeply emotionally distressing. But here we are. And problem solved. So
I didn't listen to it, and I don't read the comments. So
Can't blame you. I also don't do either of those things,
was
even when
sad.
I'm not on.
It was sad. It made me sad.
Yeah.
I cried.
I did watch the Dick Show. That was pretty fun. And the fucking kill stream with May afterwards.
that was incredible. I hope she goes on again.
That was a
Oh,
scary place.
yeah, that's right.
I've never been to a kill stream before, but the people who were called in were like, "Oh, right, I see."
Yeah, it's well, you know. I mean, it's called the Kill Stream, so
They kill people on there. This is what
Yeah.
you're saying. It's
May
it's
held
all
her own.
true.
It was good. It was well done.
Yeah, May held her own. That was really cool. What she was
Some
doing.
legitimate laughs in there, such as when it was said that I can't remember what it was. Someone wants to fuck, and then May was just like, "Yeah, I want to have sex with Dick Masterson." I remember that. Epic. And you just sat there
That
and
sounds
took it.
like
Fascinating.
a
I mean,
really
it's
a real knee
hilarious.
slapper.
Yep. What a culture we live in, ladies and gentlemen. It's just an exciting time to be alive. I'm having a ball. But more importantly than any of that... Okay, wait, did you have something to say?
I was just thinking it is like the most exciting time imaginable. Everything's on fire. It's fucking crazy.
Oh
It's
yeah.
on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that was happening right now?
You guys watching all that?
I'm looking at a
There's
few
a-
tweets here and
You
there.
guys watching America?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking with
I'm
my
aware.
eyeglass. See
Yeah.
the smoke.
Down.
Yeah, it's sick. It's
There's some protests
fucking
in my
sick.
city.
It's so
You saw
good.
it.
It's really great.
Nate, they're happening in your city. Has anybody burned anything yet?
You know, I googled it a little bit. There are protests, and I saw like a couple of smashed windows, but like in on the whole, it seems pretty peaceful overall. I mean, in terms of amount of property damage or whatever, nobody has been hurt to my knowledge. So yeah, seems relatively calm as opposed, not violent anyway. So I'm glad to hear that, and it's certainly well, I mean, it's by UC, which is the center of the city of Cincinnati, and that's, I guess, a 10-minute drive for me, so not super far, but it's all in, like, commercial areas and stuff. Well, I guess the school isn't a commercial, but around there, so, yeah,
yes.
I'm not too worried.
There are
personally.
protests in Boston today.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're not going to be on the level of, like,
Nothing's going to reach
Minnes-
Milwaukee.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's...
Neo-Minneapolis.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
All those
I'm
M's and those
surprised they've
Montanas.
spread as much as they have, and that now they're in like, I mean, there must be like a dozen different cities. I've seen like footage of people like bashing in cop car windows and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I first heard of it. okay, well, obviously it's mainly in Minneapolis, and then the other places with like Texas. I heard there was something in like Houston. Maybe I was wrong about that. Whatever. It's all over
I
the
saw
place.
footage
There's
from
protests everywhere.
Dallas is where the guy had the sword. Did you see the sword guy?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
The guy who got
Oh,
beat
boy.
nearly to death, right?
Yeah,
I
as I
mean,
understand it.
he got sent to the hospital. There's no indication that he almost died. He looked pretty fucked up, but like he
He's
got
definitely
up.
unconscious.
Did you know he put out a statement today, like defending
No.
the people who beat him up?
No fucking
Like
way.
he literally came out and was like, you
Wow,
know,
what
us,
a cuck.
he literally said like us white people do deserve this or something like
Oh
that. Like
my
literally
God.
that. It was fucking.
I mean,
wild.
he literally did deserve it. So that's fun, unexpected. It's pretty funny.
He
Why would
literally
he-
blamed his. He literally put it on white people. He did.
I mean,
Why
I mean,
did he go out with a
well,
sword if that was
I
even
don't
near
know.
his thing?
I
mean,
guess
these
he
things
just thought he
seem
was
to not-
defending his store, and then he was like, you know what? It's understandable.
He
I
wasn't-
guess I
I
didn't
read
want
that-
my store to get broken into, but I
I read that
understand
he
why it
wasn't.
happened.
He wasn't even
Yeah.
defending his store. He was just defending a store,
store?
like
That's
someone
fucking
else's
hilarious.
store. Yeah.
Well, then where did he get the sword? I mean, I assume that his shit was nearby.
Well, not
was
from
this
a
his weapon of
store. He like.
choice?
I mean, I assume he just brought it.
Yeah, all right. The light rail Avenger was still.
I
with
feel
us.
like
He'd make quick work
we
of
have
all
to
this.
revisit the Guns versus Swords bonus episode and bring up how ineffective this sword was in this
We have-
situation.
Yeah,
We
gu-
have-
Are you
swords
implying
versus
that
rocks.
there's lots of guns in use though? Because that is not the case.
I have not.
It's fucking swords versus skateboard.
That's true.
I mean, apparently,
blunt
like there have
objects
been
used.
shootings. Like people have like rolled it. No, people have shot people, but I have seen. So far, there's been the lady in the wheelchair who was like stabbing people.
Yeah, I
with
was gonna say she's making this hard case for swords right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
you know,
stabbing
warrior.
wheelchair lady.
That's pretty good.
There
was the bow and arrow guy who
the
got
bow
his
and-
car
yeah.
flipped over.
Yep.
Okay.
And
okay.
and then there was sword guy. And then also there were some gun shootings, but like those aren't funny.
I thought guns were supposed to be easy to get in America. Why is everybody settling for these, primitive instruments when you can just mow down?
I think it's because if you wield a gun in a place like that at a time like that, you're probably just gonna get shot to death.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to risk that.
Particularly
I
by the
suppose.
cops who are all over the place.
Sure.
And
If
who
you take a gun
who-
to a
who-
riot where
who,
there's
as we all
violence
know,
happening.
will kill you. As that's what pretty much started all this madness. So
Yeah. Scary. Scary.
don't go outside. That's what I'm thinking for a little while. I
They-
mean,
they
we already
already
weren't
said-
supposed
yeah.
to. Yeah, I was doing it though, so now I'm not going to.
I mean,
Out
Doing
of
it
my
long before
out of my
Corona.
own volition, not because the government told me not to.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. The if there are a couple.
You gonna go
there-
looting, Ben? You gonna go looting?
There's
You gonna
not
go
gonna be.
loot a Target? I don't even.
Ben,
I
could
wouldn't
you-
even begrudge you doing it.
Oh,
I would
no,
do it.
Could you go
if
get me a
pe-
Switch? Could you get me a Switch?
Okay. There's nothing immoral about looting a Target. First and foremost. So
Target defended it. Target themselves put out a statement like, "We don't
Really?
even mind that you looted our stores. We can afford to rebuild them. It's like
Dude.
we stand with the cause." They literally put out
You
that
know
email.
what?
They
I
cut
mean, it's-
themselves.
I mean, they're right. They're absolutely right,
Yes.
and like I don't think they even care. Like they're all going to be insured. Like it does literally doesn't even matter.
that
It's a
fact
victimless
is-
crime.
That fact is why I am. There's definitely been plenty of victims of these riots, and obviously there's plenty of
Yeah.
people out there doing fucked shit. But
Yeah.
like in concept, this is why I am okay with it. Like if it was
Yep.
just looting Targets, like just
That would be
exclusively, like nothing but all those
100%.
businesses.
Dude, burning Arby's and looting Targets, like God bless you. Like
yeah,
I don't give a shit.
I can't see any real negative consequences of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Compared to obviously if you're like breaking some mom and pop store, like those people's lives
Yeah.
are ruined. So fuck
You know.
for that.
And people are gonna do that, and that's bad.
Yeah, but
Obviously.
The real crime is lowering the prices of the real estate in the area. That's the real crime
that
here.
too.
I mean,
You will make your own house worth less.
yeah.
Although if you live in a worthless place, then I guess you just don't fucking care at that point, right? Like if Like, what was the property value of these places?
I mean, that was intended to be a joke, but
Well, I'm just thinking about it because like
it was
Virginia Beach hasn't had anything yet, and like
hard to tell. Hard to tell.
I feel like here there wouldn't be riots for that reason, that like nobody would want to lower the property value when like Virginia Beach property values are like going up, and it's really good for the people who live here.
Nah,
so like
the kind of
That just
people's
makes me
concern
want to
with
like start a
property
riot so
values-
that I can buy a house. It's like, it's too expensive. I should start a riot. Lower the property
You
value.
go there
just move
because
in.
you're looking to get
that's
a home.
probably why all these people are coming from out of state to join the fucking riots. They're like picking the city they want to move to, fucking it up, making it
I read that
accessible.
the mayor said that initial reports that arrests were all out of towners were all grossly exaggerated and lies from the police department.
Okay, well that doesn't surprise me since everything else has been lies. The media is trying to say
Yeah.
that white supremacists are the ones rioting, so that's a fucking laugh. What the fuck is that about?
There's a oh man,
a
I've read a
grain of
bunch
truth
of
here and
takes
there.
about this. I've read people saying that the white anarchist thing or the white supremacist thing, which seemingly are like interchangeable, even though those are not the same thing at all. There is like
I've never even heard the phrase white anarchist before. Where's that one coming from?
I mean, I can
Like
imagine
anarchists
it, I
who are
suppose.
not black.
You know what it is? You call them white supremacists if you're talking to a liberal, and call them white anarchists if you're talking to a
Okay.
conservative. I think that's probably the line.
Okay.
But in practice, it's the same thing. It's actually there's just a few bad white people that are making all these it was all peaceful before that.
I mean, you could blame, like, I understand the people who are like more broadly blaming white people for general problems, but like I don't think there's white people causing the riots. Pretty sure the riots are a reaction to white people, in fact.
Well, there were pictures going around the AutoZone, like one of the first fires in Minneapolis when the AutoZone burned down. It seems like that was set by an undercover cop who was pretending to be a protester. So there's at least one example.
I mean,
of
yeah,
like
there's got to be tons of
yeah.
psyops going on all over the place, tons of fucking plants, intentions flying left and right, chaos theory in full effect, fucking
Yes.
Chimera Ant Arc, IRL, every city in America.
Yeah, but what was the theory I heard that like the white anarchist thing is an attempt to basically like rhetorically divide like black people so that it's like okay no like affluent black people and black business owners like no like we the police we were always on your side, it's just those like poor people that are like and the anarchists and stuff, those are the I don't know, this some kind of like
divides
weird
would already exist though.
yeah it does, but it's the man, it's complicated. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I wish. I feel like that petered out. I feel like I knew what it was and I fucked it up. Let's just talk about something else. By which I mean more. I don't know.
I have a hard left turn that I'm itching to get to.
Go for
because it's what I'm truly passionate about.
We pivoting away from riots. Pivoting away from the riots.
You can pivot back.
I got nothing
continue
to
a point
say
if you
really.
want.
I've just been like tangentially like consuming media posts about it.
Just go listen to the song City Hall by Tenacious D, and it is the whole story of the riots every time. Every time there's riots, this is the story of the riots. You know this song, right? Somebody surely knows the Tenacious D song.
I don't
City
know
Hall.
that off the
I
top of
heard
my
the
head.
link I listened to the link you posted. I had never heard this song before, even though I was a Tenacious D fan.
Which album is it
It's
from?
from the first album. It's the last song.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say, burning down the 3rd Precinct police building, pretty much the coolest thing ever.
All the photos look fucking awesome. Of
you
all the
see-
like that picture of the Arby's on fire.
Yeah,
was
it's the
like
one
the
I was gonna
coolest looking
say.
thing I've ever seen.
That one's so freaking good. We should post that one. on
That's the best
screen.
thing about phones getting this good is that this
Yeah.
happens. All the footage we can get is so much nicer.
Also, we have evidence when the cops are like, when they're like fucking like running people over with a horse or like ramming their fucking car into a crowd or just like coming up behind people and like macing them when they weren't doing anything and all that shit that like is there's so many classic videos of the cops just fucking like bullying people and being like sadistic. It's
like
very epic.
I'm disappointed that Nihilist Arby's has not made that photo there.
No,
banned.
I don't
not
think
that
I don't
nihilist.
think that America wants to hear from nihilist
I mean,
Arby's
they
now.
did tweet, "Hi everyone, how's the week going? Please enjoy burning the Arby's." So they know it happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a more positive take than I expected from them.
Please
Well, it's
enjoy
nihilist Arby's, nothing matters.
Right, but I always suspect that nihilists are nihilists until you start torturing them specifically.
Nate, do you
Yeah.
think that nihilist Arby's is run by the real Arby's?
I'd never even considered it. So I actually had thought that. Yeah, I had thought that until just now.
I mean, it's
hmm.
I mean, thinking about it, it doesn't seem that out of the possibility
thing.
for
I mean,
like
there-
a
there's
marketing
really anything truly
campaign.
edgy.
Arby's has
Yeah.
a real social media presence.
The funny thing
got
is
more
the
than one.
actual Arby's social media presence is nothing but them like posting Kill La Kill figures next to Arby's shit. Like it's
That's
all fucking
true.
weeb
That's
stuff.
true. It has been very confusing for a long time. They're stretching their
They're-
social media. legs.
social media people are just millennials and or Zoomers doing what they would do, but with a brand
Yeah.
next to it. So nihilist
you
Arby's
just hire
seems like
them
it
to do
could
that.
exist as a real thing.
The Nihilist Arby's is actually run by the bassist of a band called the Lawrence Arms that does the song I never tried that, but I know I don't like it. Or maybe I do, and I'm just too weak to fight it. I don't know if you've heard it. You'd like
Nope.
it, Ben. It's a good Ben
Don't know it
Moore
offhand.
song.
I mean,
I'll
it sounds
give you
kind of
a-
edgy, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it's your type of edge. Your type of Irish punk edge.
Okay.
You are
I
Irish.
think I could
I
get
think
behind
they're
it.
Irish. They have or maybe they're just English. I don't know.
Hey, the whole Irish separation movement or whatever, is that specifically about like religion specifically, or is it more about like territorial control at the end of the day? Which of those is more important? To
Boy, I
the...
feel like I'm gonna expose my ignorance if I try to talk about it. But I think it's just basically it's like a sort of like a colonialism thing. Like
Yeah,
Irish
okay.
Ireland was basically just owned as a colony basically by England and just kind of heavily taxed or something or
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
war crimes were committed.
I mean, it was a while
oh god.
ago.
It's
Yeah.
we in the old
Shit.
England we had
There was a famine. Fuck.
we won as in being the coolest, and then we said to Ireland, haha, fuck you, and we stood all over, we trampled all over their sandcastle, and it was like, fuck off.
Sure.
They were like, oh, faith in Pagoda.
Top of the morning to you.
They're always saying that shit.
They were
man.
like,
you gotta tune it out at some point.
Me laddie, why don't you throw a grilled
don't you
shrimp on the Barbie? The dingo ate my baby. And it was sad.
They
and we all
really do
cried.
be like that, though. They really do.
Toes English, they're cunts, and I don't like them. That's what they say.
It's great. All right, here's my left turn. Hard left turn. Here it comes. Minutes before. I understand more and more. My Star Trek quest continues. Minutes before we started this very podcast, I finished the final episode of Season 7, the very end, of Star Trek Voyager. So I have now, in my quest to consume all Star Trek shows, I wouldn't say media, because I'm sure most of it's terrible. Like the video game, I know some are
You
good,
should
whatever.
play all the old video games on DOS.
I mean, that might be fun. That might be interesting to
On
explore.
pre-DOS Windows. Or
Well,
pre-DOS
Ben,
operating
because I
systems.
think that developers have gotten way out of control because they have the technology to do stuff that technological
Absolutely
limitations
agree.
prevented them from doing. Those might legitimately be better games than than what
absolutely.
we get now.
Some of the
think-
best games are really hard to use, but they're, once
Yeah.
you get to understand them, they're the best things ever.
I should check it out. For this fucking, I know there's one that gets. Okay, I think I've said this before, but there's always this meme that gets posted on the V video games board. They will always post Ducat, what is it, Captain Ducat, whatever he was, like leader of the Cardassians. At least at one time, he had a complex political history, and he says, "So tell me, Commander, if Starfleet is so great, then why are there no good Star Trek games?" And then a thread will spiral about how there are no good Star Trek games, or some people
Has
argue
there never
there's
been
some-
one good Star Trek
people
game ever?
people
It's
like
contentious.
that one in VR where you're on the
bridge.
On the
the
bridge.
bridge. We're on the bridge or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I
don't
feel
know
like
it
the
well.
thing with a Star Trek game is that Star Trek itself is not action focused; it's cerebral.
yeah.
So, like building a game
Right.
around that, it would only
There's-
really work as a text-based choose your own
But there's
adventure.
why
but
the
there is
bridge
a great
game works
Star
is
Trek
because
game.
it's
It's
about
called Mass
collaboration.
Effect.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fair point. And that's why I need to keep playing it one of these days. Okay, but the point I was gonna say was, so I finished. I watched Next Generation, then Deep Space Nine, then the original, and now Voyager. That's 4. I will watch Enterprise, which I hear is maybe the worst, but the Red Letter Media boys recommend it as part of the pantheon, so I will consume it. But I'm gonna rewatch the Next Generation first to get my my joy back, because Voyager ended on a real limp ass fart. It wasn't bad. And I was just doing my
A real
big
limp
review.
ass fart. It wasn't
Yes.
bad. Would you like to explain?
Well, a fart is not that bad. Like the fart still got a ha epic.
You know,
but it's
you know
not
what?
that
I guess
great.
there are worse things, aren't there?
Oh my god, this reminds me. Okay, last night. Whatever. I thought Michelle was not in the bed with me at the time. It was this morning. And I'm like, okay, Michelle's not around. Time to fart. And I execute maneuver, incredibly loud fart in the bed. I hear a rustling as Michelle sits bolt upright next to me in the bed. I'm like, oh no. See, Michelle is no fan of the farts. And out of courtesy to her, I have been restraining myself for these
Well,
last while.
considering all you eat is
This
like
was a tactical
beans and
mistake.
vegetables, I have to imagine you have the worst smelling farts in the fucking planet.
It does well, the smell is far less of an issue than the noise. The noise specifically. It's a diet is key. You're absolutely right about that. Diet is key. Anyway,
that
it's a
in your
traumatic
soundboard?
experience. I do. I have a fart sound, but I don't have my soundboard rigged up. I should play it right now. See, this is why I
Everyone-
need to have it ready.
Everyone
Forgive
in the
me,
last
everyone.
soundboard, well, not everyone. I mean, our opinions were divided over whether you need to stop using the soundboard or whether we all just need to get our own competing soundboards.
Right. I'm paying attention to those debates. Today, I was just too busy to get it hooked up because I have to set up some shit. But
Soundboards can
one
be
day.
used like sparingly for great effect. Like if you played
middle path,
the,
right.
the like fart with reverb, whatever you have.
If I had set up
Like
that
it
whole
sounded like
narrative-
this, and then you do the sound. That would be great.
Yeah, see that's the sort of thing I should do. Eleazar, mix that in, would you? Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. All right. Anyway, it was actually, and that was after in the middle of the night. Or whatever, sometime last night or whatever, Sesho was sleeping with Michelle in the bed and just puked all over her. And so had to get rid of get rid of the fucking sheets because there's puke on them. So
Sure.
got puked on and farted on. Michelle is living a punished existence right now. It would be so awful if everyone sent her on her
that's
social
so
media
sad.
links to fart
That's-
sounds.
That's
yeah.
so sad.
What a nightmare for her.
Justice for George Floyd.
Of course. All right. Anyway, the point of this is, here's my short breakdown of the end of Voyager and my analysis of the whole 7 seasons. All right. Highlights.
Fuck.
Tuvok was okay. 7 of 9, pretty good. The journey through the Delta Quadrant, being stranded 70,000 light years away, meaning it's going to take roughly 70 years to get back home, and they occasionally make jumps back. That was compelling. The B narrative of On Earth, of Barclay from the Next Generation, and his work on, was it Pathfinder? Whatever it was. Like this communication satellite that like 3 seasons in, they start to have communication between Earth and Voyager. All that was based. Janeway as a captain. The weird thing about Janeway is that I think she is the most like traditionally conservative of any of the captains thus far. I think people are right about that because unlike fucking Jean-Luc, she spends a lot less time worried about like what's the right thing to do for species. They do kind of do that with the Borg. They kind of make peace with them to a degree and are like, oh, that's just how the Borg are. Like, we're not going to murder the whole species. They have to conquer, whatever. And 7 of 9 is the Borgans and their crew. But Janeway she on multiple occasions, she will just say, fuck the Prime Directive, like probably more than anybody except maybe Kirk. But Kirk gets a pass because it was the olden days. Anyway, the show is definitely like a few rungs lower on the intelligence scale because I talked about before, there's like fucked up stuff that happens. People are killed. There's like a fusion character who appears, and then he is ordered to be executed to revive the 2 crewmen that they're a fusion of. It was presented as incredibly morally fucked up, and they do it anyway. All the crew is fine. Man, that was like the most fucked up Tuvix. Watch that episode for a bad time. And anyway, the ending of the thing, well, of course, they get back home because they find a transwarp conduit or portal or whatever. And they just, like, the whole ending two-parter is a big Borg fighting time travel episode. They really do not do anything particularly interesting. And it, of course, is like a perfect parallel to the finale of Star Trek The Next Generation, which is a big climactic time travel episode, but it is like perfectly connected to the overall point of the series and shows like amazing stuff that's going to happen in the future. We know what's going to happen to them later. That's been largely undone in fucking Voyager. So like they ended on this weird thing where like the very last thing you see is history was just changed. They blew up the Borg sphere or whatever the fuck, and they're just like, take us home. And they're flying back to Voyager. The ending of the original series, it just got canceled. Like it wasn't, they didn't do a big setup, but it gets a pass because like they didn't even know it was ending necessarily. The Next Generation had like the greatest final episode of all time. It was fucking incredible and based. Deep Space Nine ended pretty well. It made me really care about these characters. I was sad to see them go. It does a big pan out shot. You get like a good like 20 minutes at the end of the episode to like feel the loss of all the characters. Voyager, like I said, just ends on a limp. It was not good. It was not good emotionally the way it was done. Okay, but I did want to say, to its credit, the real ending of Star Trek Voyager, for those people who I know are dying to hear it, was 2 episodes before. Season 7, episode 23, Homestead. And it's with that motherfucker Neelix. Now, nobody likes Neelix. Everybody hates Neelix. But when they got stranded in the Delta Quadrant at the very beginning of season 1 of Voyager, Neelix was their first friend. He like joins the crew, and he's one of the boys. He has this girl, Kes, who joins the crew, and he has a whole developmental arc, right? As like the annoying cook and like pretends to be ambassador sometimes, and they puff up his ego sometimes, but really mostly people are annoyed about him. He's kind of an okay guy, whatever. He's like the fucking nanny of the crew. And he's annoying sometimes, but he's not that bad. He's not that bad. And when you get into his backstory, it turns out his whole planet was obliterated or was like turned completely toxic during a war. So his entire species in his lifetime became nomads due to loss of their fucking home planet. So like they're completely scattered to the winds, which is why he can like be on the crew and stuff. So it's like really fucked up what this guy has been through. He's got incredible PTSD. His entire family was killed. And he deals with that a lot. He has dreams, there's episodes about it, it's pretty good. His girlfriend, Kes, he meets at the very beginning. All right, Kes was cool, she was like a nurse, but then she went Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct mode, unfortunately, and had to leave and became like a god of psychic powers. So that didn't work out well for Neelix. And he has like no girlfriend for the rest of the series and is pretty sad sack, and it's unfortunate. Okay, all this is to say, there were things, just like in Deep Space Nine, where I didn't give a fuck about any of those people at the beginning, but then I did by the end. Just as like people, I liked them. Neelix was that guy in this series to the largest degree, because he wasn't that cool, but he was like your dad or your mom, and he was nice to have around. And the last episode, 2 episodes before the end, where they find a colony of other Talaxians like him. Because you gotta understand, Voyager starts with him joining the crew, and they're just sailing further and further away every single day from Neelix's home in the Delta Quadrant. Because they're leaving. They're going to the Alpha Quadrant, and he's abandoning the place that he grew up because his species is already scattered to the winds. And, okay, so, all right, understood. But, like, in this last episode, right, 2 episodes before the end, they meet a colony of Talaxians, and he likes them. And while he is totally overshadowed on the crew of Voyager by everybody else, among these Talaxians who are like desperate for a leader, all his experience with Voyager has like perfectly prepared him to like be an actual competent like spacefaring leader of this little community of like 500 people. And so he does it, and he fucking leaves, and he gets this amazing salute and send-off by every officer in the crew, saluting him as he walks out, like that final episode of Scrubs or whatever. And that was like the most heart-rending thing, seeing him leave. So basically what I'm saying is that was the real end. That was the true heartfelt ending of Voyager. And that episode was fucking based. So Voyager gets, I don't know, maybe like a 7 out of 10 overall. Pretty good. Not even close to TNG. there you go. There's my review of Voyager. You should watch it though. If you like Star Trek, it's worth watching. I don't know why people be saying that Voyager is like so bad across the board. There are episodes of fucking The Next Generation that are worse than anything. Not morally, just in terms of entertainment value. All right, anyway,
All right.
that's it. That's the review of Voyager. Take it and leave it, people.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Sure.
Why you not make videos about watching Star Trek?
Easy answer. I have too few slots for videos, and they take too long. I probably could make just like a video just describing exactly those thoughts.
It's funny you asked that,
stuff.
Hippo, because like, I think the healthiest way to live your life is to not think about needing to make videos about everything just because you do have things to say about them, you know?
Well, I am a
True.
YouTuber. I'm looking for content. I mean,
True,
It
it's
sounds
just
like
sort
you're
of
not
Star Trek
looking for content, Nate. It sounds like the reason you're not doing a Star Trek video is that you literally need less content ideas so that you can like get through them all.
Well, I mean, I think these are just two separate issues. Yeah, obviously, I have long planned to make videos about Star Trek, and I will get to it one day. And all this watching is somewhat in preparation for that.
Okay. It's just that like we all became Jay just now
Jay.
from Red Letter Media. Like we vanished as you were
right.
talking about Star Trek.
I don't.
Right, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I just thought people might enjoy a summary of
Well,
Voyager
if anyone
thoughts.
did in the comments, I guess let us know.
I don't need to know. I can feel it. I can
Okay.
feel their joy. Mhm.
Do a little Vulcan.
And
emoji.
anybody who
Just like
would have
Diana
enjoyed
Troy.
it would not feel the need to comment just to let Nate know. They would know that he knew. They would
Yeah,
sense
that's true.
through
That's
the
true.
Trapars that they were of one
they
mind. on
they
it.
know
Mm-hmm.
that Nate knows.
If
that
you're a real
they
Nate
know.
boy, you know what Nate boy would expect from you.
And hey, here's an actual question though. For those people out there who are Star Trek heads, I will be curious. Leave in the comments. Is Enterprise good? I hear very mixed things. I'm just like on the hierarchy. Give me a rating of the 5 main series. Let's forget Picard, forget Discovery. Who gives a shit? Of the 5 main ones, I'm just curious. Where would you put Enterprise? Is it better than Voyager? If so, not bad. I'm looking forward to it then. But I'm very curious. Very curious. People love the original series, and I assume it gets like bonus points for being the original. Obviously, it does. It started the idea,
for sure.
But it just was not like as good as the Next Generation. And Kirk really did like flout the Prime Directive way more. And again, it made sense in the context, but like, wouldn't you just rather hear, like, if you like Star Trek, wouldn't you just rather hear like Jean-Luc like opine about the nuances of, you know, galactic interspecies policy? I know I would. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just gay.
I think I've seen
I don't know.
a supercut of like the first like Star Trek original series, like Kirk battling rubber suit monsters, and then that's like really funny.
But that's
I love
okay.
those.
That's a good in the context of that episode. That's an episode where Kirk does, as a Starfleet captain should, like works diligently, does everything he can to get out of that situation non-violently. The premise of that episode is that just like some god species has detected like 2 intruders in their territory on like opposite sides. One is the Enterprise, the other is like that other alien race or whatever. And like to settle this disagreement, they're just like, okay, you guys aren't gonna fight or whatever. Or I think the 2 were fighting in space. There was some thing. He just puts them on a planet and says, okay, the 2 captains are gonna fight. I'm God. You just have to do that. And there's no way out of it.
Nate.
So there's just, you know,
I'm
they
curious.
put him into situations like that.
How aware are you about like in Mass Effect the whole Renegade and Paragon thing and like what that sort of stands for?
I mean, hell, my biggest exposure was B-Tongue's videos back in the day that I
Right.
forget to a large degree, so not much.
So, in that I've been, replaying and analyzing Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Like the Paragon route is basically the person who always makes the most diplomatic, most logical decision that is available. Whereas the Renegade option will be that you make more emotional decisions, more snap judgments, and basically never take any bullshit from anybody. It's like, it's my way or the highway is your kind of approach.
Sure.
And so I think that, which Star Trek captain you favor will come down to like kind of the Paragon Renegade decision making, because like if you play Mass Effect always making Paragon decisions, it is the next generation. Like you are Picard essentially.
Which I definitely would.
You would not make any decisions. I did too. Like when I played through the first time, because I was making decisions based on like what decisions I would actually make, and
of course.
in my mind it was like, well, considering the scope of the stakes, I would always try to make the careful, logical decision, because it just always makes the most sense. And it's not as though it's that careful and logical, because you're a human Spectre. Like what you symbolically represent in the story is kind of more emotional decision making, because that's how humans are. Like they're not as
Compared
logical
to other species,
as some of the other species. But like if you play, in a more of a renegade way, it would be more like Captain Kirk, who is more likely to just go against logic. And it's interesting because like it depends on like, is the appeal of Star Trek to you that the universe has like all this logic and stuff behind it, but that you still can make emotional decisions within that space? Or is it more that like you want to participate in upholding the logic and like making the universe a logical space where things make sense, which is more what Picard is trying to do, like literally involving himself in the lawmaking in some aspects that because of the data trial and all that.
And to be fair, all the captains have multiple sides to them. I mean, because Picard has a not much discussed large affinity for Klingon culture specifically, that you would think, well, that's weird. But
Picard
he
loves
really spends
women.
a lot of time with them.
He loves emotions. I think that's why he wants to be so logical, is so that those emotions have a space to thrive. It's like, I will create I think he kind of represents the masculine ideal, which is like, I will create the universe in which women can be comfortable to express themselves. Like, I think that's like kind of the, like everybody else will get to be emotional because there is nothing for them to impede their ability to live this way, as I have rectified the logic of the universe to make that possible. That's what society hopefully is attempting to accomplish in existing.
Makes sense to me. Well, that's it. There's my Star Trek talk for today. I'll get back to you when I've finished Enterprise. But tell me what you think, people. I want to know.
My fucking hand keeps tingling.
Why?
Stab it.
I don't know.
You got alien eggs in there.
I woke up right before the podcast, and I felt fine. Didn't feel it. I didn't feel like, it wasn't like, oh, I woke up and my hand is numb, but maybe I slept on it. But now I just have like a tingling in my index and middle finger and my thumb and a little down my arm, and it's not
left arm or right arm.
Left arm.
That's a heart attack.
Thanks. It won't quit, and I don't like it.
I don't know, dog.
Are you saying you are having a heart attack right now? Is this?
I don't know. Yeah, probably
ongoing.
Wait, am I? Is that what it's like?
Know.
They say tingling in your left arm. They say that's a sign or a hallmark or something connected to
of like a coming one, or that you are currently having.
That you're like currently experiencing one. I think, or maybe one's about to happen.
Wouldn't a heart attack be like a lot more intense and like he wouldn't be able to talk and shit?
It must be a heart.
Well, now I gotta go look at. Okay. Seek emergency medical assistance if you also have left arm numbness or weakness. I think tingling. A temporary feeling of numbness in your left arm is usually no cause for alarm. It's not numbness. It's tingling. Seek a medical assistance. You also have chest pain and pressure, back, jaw, and shoulder pain, skin discoloration, swelling or infection, breathing or swallowing problems, confusion. Well, I got that. Sudden headache, facial palsy.
This is the land of confusion.
Check that.
Nausea,
box.
vomiting, sudden balance. What exactly is palsy? Facial palsy.
Oh,
Palsy
that's
is where your arm keeps fucking freaking out, right?
Well, this is facial. This is facial palsy.
You know what's fucked up? My boy. Here's an interesting story. My boy TirarADeguello.
Paralysis, especially that which is accompanied by involuntary tremors.
Bro, get this. My boy TirarADeguello, Lobster Boy himself, ASMRist extraordinaire, just got fucking Bell's palsy in his face on half his fucking face. Like, I don't know, like 6-8 months ago or something.
Who's this?
So just like an ASMR guy who he does the thing, camera right up on his face, and he'll tell you about it. Maybe I'll link the video where he talks about it. He's really sad and upset. Because
Does he
like
look
half his
like-
face is just like paralyzed for a while, and you just can't move it, and it like drips, and yeah, it's fucked up. Poor
dear.
motherfucker. Okay, but it is like it does go away in time, and he's doing much better. So like he's on the
Bell's
mend.
palsy goes away.
That's what he said. And seems to be the case.
God, that makes me want to die just thinking about it.
It is fucked up. But the
that's
good news
pretty
is he did an
scary, yeah.
epic Two-Face ASMR video, and he was perfect for the role.
Oh god.
Amazing.
See, he
That's
played right
art from
into it.
adversity. Good job.
Absolutely.
You know, maybe this is crazy, but like I kind of want to just like give that guy a message. We both live in Ohio and be like, hey dude, like I really like you. Want to just like hang out at a bar sometime, like before I like move away or something? Because
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think you're
Absolutely.
based.
do that.
He's
Yeah.
watched one of your videos before, hasn't he?
He has on Twitter. We talked about it a little bit.
Absolutely
Wait,
do it.
Who
dude.
did?
This fucking guy I'm talking
Don't,
about right
don't
now,
miss
man.
the chance. I fucking
If-
didn't hang out
yeah.
with a bunch of people in Boston who I should have hung out with before I left.
If-
So
Yeah, good point. Good point.
If you've ever like logged onto the PCP channel and
Yeah.
you look at like YouTube recommended videos, that guy with the big schnoz is the guy.
Yeah, big round egg head, balding. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
I got a bald head. Who was it that said that? That was somebody's like catchphrase.
I don't know.
I got a
A
bald head.
Sounds like a wrestler.
No,
I
it's
don't
like a
know.
YouTube guy, I think.
Is it Fit MC by any chance?
I don't think so.
Rest in peace, Fit. I'm sorry to do that to you.
It's a black guy. If I
I
remember.
just ended his career. Now I'm the Minecraft man. Now I'm the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, and it feels good.
I have been
Yeah.
since my announcement last time that I'm
Mm-mm.
attempting the Tezuka award manga thingy.
Yeah.
I've been writing, but also like writer's blocking for a while.
Naturally.
Writing's hard, dude. I don't know. You write
have you ever
and you
tried,
don't get
like,
it?
Have you ever tried just like making the comic wholly without any text and then just adding text on afterwards? Because that's how a lot of like older comics were written.
I mean, I would probably do that and then delete it and start again because I
Hmm.
only have so many pages to work with, and
Right.
I can't go over that amount. So, like, if something doesn't fit, I would need to change all the panels. So I want to try and figure it out what I'm doing first. That's how I've worked with The Lord of Ghosts. Like, once I have I did like a screenplay first. I knew the outline, I knew what happens. So I did a screenplay where I wrote the dialogue so that the dialogue sounded cool. And then I did sketches for all the pages so that the dialogue could fit and like flow into pages such that when you turn the page, something exciting would be on the next page rather than things being cut in half. So like I'm trying to do that with this, and well, I'm not to that stage yet. I'm really just like I've got an outline and it's very basic, and I'm trying to flesh it out with like stuff without having nothing like
Yeah.
actions and characters and parts of dialogue that do not in any way add to like the theme I'm going for or do not add to the character development. I don't want to have a scene that's just an action scene and then we move on to the next bit. I want all the panels to be good. So I'm like I'm just sort of stuck. I've been going to like the list of the Tezuka Award winners mangas, seeing what the first chapters were like, and then going page by page and trying to like figure out where do they do the things
Right.
that and why,
Good
and
idea.
why, like how do they start? When do we know who the character is and how cool they are? Things like that. But the hardest part is like the middle, because the middle
Right.
is so amorphous. It could be anything. Like it all depends on what you want to say before you wrap up.
Right.
And it's like I don't really know what I want to say yet.
What is the page limit?
55 pages, I think. It's plenty big.
Because like
So
my
Yeah.
mentality towards storyboarding comics, which one the ones I've done, is always like first I just figure out the amount of pages, and then I think like what kind of story can I tell within that amount of pages, and then like how many pages like if I break that story down into pieces, like how many pages will it take to get this emotional idea across, like pacing wise, like if I think of it in terms of this type of reveal takes 3 pages for somebody to really feel it. So like this will be a 3-page reveal, or like, you know, this statement could be crammed into the top corner of a panel and it'll be funnier up there, you know, like, so just thinking about like the page construction as like the first step of the creation is just like what will be the length of each scene page-wise, and then you look at those 3 pages and you go, okay, how do I tell this story within the span of these 3 pages? You know, like how many images are necessary? How big should those images be? You know, and it's just like building it inwards as opposed to outwards.
It's
you know?
it's still hard though. Like I've been getting like different advice things. I think it's just I know a little bit. I don't know fully what the character is quite yet. And so,
Yeah,
like,
let me ask you this.
If you were to ask me,
Yeah.
like, what is the point? I would be like, I'm drawing a comic. And that's not a real point yet. That's not a real story.
The editor, I think this came out recently. I don't know if it's an old quote. The editor of Dragon Ball recently, I saw a quote recently at least. This story is about me and my experience of the events that went down. I saw a quote of the guy. The editor of Dragon Ball said, "This story is about nothing. It's just people fighting. We just wanted to make a cool comic, and it's like the most influential manga of all time, basically." So I certainly empathize, and I would approach things the same way as you. But I was going to ask, do you have the cool moments? Do you have badass story? Like, that's when she kills the guy with a sick pose. That's what I want to know.
I do have a few cool poses. I have a cover page in my head.
I
Cool,
think it's
cool.
easy to overestimate like how much sense it really has to make. Like when I think about a lot of first chapters of shonen manga, like they're definitely not like tight and perfectly constructed. Like I think about like Naruto, and like it has a great first chapter, but it is just it's really emotional. It's just kind of exploding off the page. Like you could tell that like this is a story that really meant something to the author, that he probably had a relationship like this, that he just like, you know, needed to tell that story. So it's like that's gonna matter way more than like how well constructed it is or how well written it is. It's just like, do you have that emotionality behind it, you know?
Just be yourself, bro.
But you
Just
gotta.
be yourself.
dog.
Seems like if you're gonna make it an emotional and affecting work, yeah, you have to feel strongly about it, and I guess you can do that by maybe you can do it if like it's a story you really want to tell, or like it's like themes that you really care about, or it's just like you really love drawing whatever this shit is. Oh man, did I complain about Monben and how like half of it just doesn't exist?
I think
You
you
did
did.
at length.
On the PCP, I did.
Definitely, right? I mean, yes, you definitely
Like,
did. Maybe it was the
recently?
bonus episode?
No, it was last time.
Was
I
it?
remember.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember I made a tweet about it a while ago.
You also tweeted about it.
I remember I
Talked
made the
about your
tweet about it.
Mm-hmm,
I found, and I guess I won't rehash it then. But it's like, I guess it's like, you know, how much of that have you seen, Hippo?
I've seen 2 episodes, I think.
Oh,
I can't remember them.
I mean, they're not all equally fascinating, but they're all worth watching, and some of them are like really, really fascinating. There's the one guy who has like a very painterly sort of like kind of classical, I guess you'd say like a sort of classically-ish art style, and he just like really loves drawing animals, and he works all by himself, and he just fucking like really likes drawing animals, and he likes drawing like big like jaguar mouths and like frogs like kicking their legs and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, so you know, I made a manga that was all about how like, you know, we have to protect the environment, and like or you know, it's got environmental themes, and now I'm just gonna draw a whole bunch of pages of like a frog girl and a cheetah man just like fighting each other, and like he just loves it. He just loves that shit. And he's just like, yeah, now I'll just sit down for like, you know, 12 hours a day and just sketch that out. And yeah, it feels good, man.
I guess I should maybe try to tap more into that, like just draw what I want. Because like I know like the
It's the
character
only
design,
way to do it for an extended period. If you don't love doing it, you're going to quit.
Well, obviously. But like
Yeah,
specifically for the story, I'm thinking like maybe too much about the pacing or the act structure or like rising tension. Like I think
Yeah.
that will come pretty naturally. honestly. I
Which-
just need the.
yeah.
I really love this character design. I love
Yeah.
it's the red-haired like cowgirl. I've posted a few times.
That's unironically probably the most important part
Wait,
of the whole
you're-
thing for a manga.
The Tezuka manga is going to be about her.
yeah.
Oh,
Are you sure you wanted that to be public? I'm
shit.
just wondering if you want to keep that under your hat. We could bleep it.
I know I've already like talked in Discords.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
talking
okay.
about it. Like I've
Cool,
been asking for like advice in Ben's like Discord in the Infernal Scripts chat, which I didn't realize was a comic chat, and I now have realized.
Wait, I thought the Infernal Scripts chat was about coding.
Y-
No,
you don't know.
I thought that server was about simping for Michelle, from what I understand. Is
I
that-
guess that's what it's about now. Well,
Right.
Yeah.
All three.
Wait, no. That's not.
People
I mean,
in
those
Ben's
chan-
server are simping for Michelle. What's going on?
It's called like the Michelle fan
No,
chat.
wait, no,
I mean,
no. It
changes
was
names.
it was called like the Michelle Simp chat Discord for a while. Now it's called Bug Saints Wormhole.
Oh, and
and
the,
the
top
main-
chat. The general's called Michelle Tantrum
The
chat.
Michelle
so there you
Tantrum
go.
chat.
Yeah, see?
I mean, all the channels got renamed so long ago, and there was a lot. It was like, okay, this is gonna be this channel, this is gonna be this channel, but like I forget the logic behind some of it.
right.
There's another
Yeah.
another one for game development, I think.
Gamer Gulag. Dev
it's,
Talk. Yeah, that's it.
It's probably Gamer Ghoul. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This
All-
is.
all that is to
I mean,
say-
the thing about my Discord is that I completely let my mods run rampant, and they do. And half the time, I don't even notice when they like change the entire server's name or whatever, or just like change
Sure.
How many
everything.
mods do you have?
Probably like six or seven or eight.
Are there
That's a lot
power
of
struggles
mods.
between
But
them?
probably
Do they vie
more
for
than is
control?
strictly necessary.
Mm,
But
mm.
it's all people who have been like there for like so long that they're like, people who were already just like constant presences in there. So like, why not make them a mod?
Mhm,
Well,
mhm.
if they, are someone who's just going to take matters into their own hands, then that might be why.
You
not
know,
to make them a mod.
because I'm the kind of guy to just kind of leave and not post in my own server for like a month at a time.
Yeah.
Here and there. I thought, the server will be more interesting if the mods do have an unwarranted sense of
And
I
that's
can just
true.
fuck shit up if I want to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really funny. My server
It was
has,
deliberate. It was deliberate aesthetic choice.
My server had only ever had one mod up until like a month ago when I finally appointed a second one, mostly to run a manga club. But I have now made my Discord completely free. It is not open. It's invite only. If any of you guys wants to come in, you can get an invite. But
Sure,
it is
sure.
free.
Yeah, why not?
So sick.
I regularly just do rounds of just clicking through Discord to
wait,
see
your
if anybody's
Discord's
talking
free?
about something interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my Discord is now free. Not open to the public. Nobody can invite except for me, and I'll probably make the mods. able to
Eleazar,
invite
put that in the
themselves.
show notes, buddy. We gotta bust this thing wide open. We gotta let the people in.
No, this is
I
actually
guess I should-
actually this is a one-time use, 1 hour only. So I probably have to post it like 3 times. Wait, no.
Oh,
I guess
yeah,
I'll get in
I
there
guess I'll have
because
to
I'm
make
in.
different links for each of you.
Yeah,
I'm
me
in,
too.
I'm in Mage's Discord as well.
I'll just send you individualized.
I'm in all the
cool,
Discords now.
Yeah, I joined them
I was
all.
thinking for a while like this. I'm in too many Discords. I don't want to have to check them all.
I've
but-
just accepted that I'm gonna be in too many Discords, and
Yeah.
that's just
Same.
my life. That's just my lot in life.
I mean, the
Hey,
development
I
of
should-
folders
this
changed the
invite
game.
is invalid. Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck? You send me these bum goods.
I sent you another one, the personal one. These ones,
Yeah.
these ones
No,
were
it's
only one
invalid.
time. The one I sent.
Well,
No, it's
cry
in-
about it. I
It's
guess.
invalid.
What the fuck?
Digi,
I'm fixing it.
it's
Here,
invalid.
how about this one?
Thank you. Thank
Sick.
you.
Did that one work?
I should get in Tom's Discord. I don't know whether that's patron only.
I should get if it. Yeah, I don't.
I think it is.
obviously.
I
The
don't
I
mind
Am
it.
Games Discord is not patron only, and he is in the I Am Games Discord.
Oh, well, I should be. I should be in that. Yes, of course.
The
I
more
will
places I can
go
just
join it now.
post the link to the next Lord of Ghosts chapter. every
Right,
time I
right.
do
That's
that.
what it's all
It's
about.
better.
Yeah, here's the
And I
I
know
Am
I've been
Games
saying
server.
I've been getting some.
I mean,
harsh
I Am Games
feedback.
is not very active of a server, but Tom is in there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Isn't that where he does like Q and A?
If you want an active server,
the
then
gym?
you all need to join the Pantsu Party server, because that one,
I'm in that.
Am I
That
in
one's-
that?
I was a guest on May's stream.
that's right.
Oh, of course. That's true.
No, I'm not in there. I just saw into it one time on the stream because she had the Discord window.
It will be
open.
suspect if I let you join now, though, because it's supposed to be on lockdown currently to prevent spies.
Well,
What's
I think we're
spies?
generally trustworthy, but that's fine. I understand.
Ten tits spies.
I
I don't know
I'm
if
missing
you
some. I'm missing some context here.
did. You didn't watch Content Cunt, did you?
No.
You got to check it out. Go to next time you're on Pantsuit Party's channel, watch the video Content Cunt.
It's
Okay.
it's a whole lot of silly internet drama that is,
Yes.
you know,
Fair summary.
as is with all drama. It's funny for a little while, but
Is it-
like I don't know.
Is it
it's-
based or
it's
is it
whatever.
cringe?
But
That's
now
all
I'm
I need
crying.
to know.
It's
I'm
I
shitting.
mean the video is based, but the person that the video is about is extremely cringe. So yeah.
Guys, my hand still a little tingly. The tingling has moved slightly. It's now less intense in the fingers and more intense in the palm area a little bit.
Okay.
I think I would
This
rate
is-
it as improving.
This is riveting. I'm loving this.
I
I
sure
want to
hope Ben
blow
doesn't
by
die
blow.
alive on the
I sh-
podcast.
I sure hope I don't have to get 2 stents in my arteries.
Yeah.
Or anything. Hey,
I also hope you don't die, but until you do, keep it to yourself.
Okay, yes. I'll stay in my lane.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, speaking of riveting,
I've been riveting a rivet.
I'm making gummies again.
Yes,
I ordered more
good.
shit. I ordered like I ordered like a 7 pounds of isomalto oligosaccharides in the mail. They will. They have. I got the
Masahiro Sakurai.
I got the I got the
Nice.
powdered kind. Turns out you can just mix that shit with water and it turns into the syrup. I'm
Hey,
back,
all right.
baby. The
Cool.
syrup. I got the syrup. I have a big Tupperware container of the syrup. I've made 2 batches. I got new flavors. I'm gonna get apple flavor. I'm gonna get passion fruit. I'm gonna get rose flavor. Curious how that's gonna turn out.
I'm sorry, Ben. I think I've missed this gummy arc.
Oh yeah, clearly.
There's not.
What's happening? Are you
there's
making
not a
gummies?
lot. Yeah.
What
I
kind
decided,
of are they like
Keto
alcoholic
gummies
gummies?
specifically.
Or...
No, they're keto. They're keto gummies. They're sugar free. They're made because okay. Well, I guess I'll recap briefly. All it is that I was going to Whole Foods and I kept buying these low sugar gummies called Sweet Smarts, and they're so good. Every time I went there, I couldn't help but spend like $12 on a bunch of these gummies and just eat them all in one fucking second, devour like 4 bags at a time. And I was like, enough. I'm going bankrupt. I'm going to perish. There has to be a better way. So I looked at the ingredients list and I was like, what are all these weird like 20 syllable long things? And I looked them up and I just ordered big bags of them.
Amazing.
And then I concocted them, I reverse engineered them, and I found the recipe, and now I can make them in my house, and I do, and I got worm molds, and I'm making gummy worms, and I made a bunch of batches before, and I had mango, and I had pear, and I had strawberry, and I was thinking, what if obviously, I'm always considering, how can I merchandise this? How can I tie this into Endless War somehow? So I was thinking, what if maybe I could do something with that, but I don't know about that. Right now, I'm just and I got the most amazing thing about it is I learned what makes them sour. It's citric acid. It's pure crystallized acid, and I have a big bag of it, and I can roll them in it, and I can make them sour, and they have the sour coating on them, and I have big bags of acid, and I can just eat it with a spoon if I want to, and it tastes really sour, but it's kind of good.
Ben, there's a meme sweeping the nation that you gotta capitalize on. Made famous by one Justin Bieber. You've got to make
Yeah.
a song cover of his hit song "Yummy," only it's now gummy.
Gross.
And you just do that, and the money will simply appear before you, as I understand it.
That's how it works.
That's all there's to
You
it.
do
yeah.
that, and like you just get like
You are
unmarked vans
granted-
deleted on your doorstep.
Yeah, a boon is granted you by a friendly genie.
And it's very fun. I'll go down and I'll heat up my double boiler and I'll pour all my weird like goos into a thing and
Yeah.
I'll stir it all around and I pour it in the molds and I put it in the fridge for like an hour and then I come down and I'm like, okay, I'll just have a couple. But no, I eat the entire batch, and then I'm like, heh, okay, time to make another one. I've spent hundreds of dollars. I've spent I've spent hundreds of dollars on all this weird shit, and it's great. Highly recommended. But you know what? I've only bought those Whole Foods gummies a couple times since then. So, it's paying for itself.
Ben, these are two kind of opposite sides of the thing, but relevant to what you're saying. Michelle was possessed by the food demon the other day, and she saw that we had bacon in the fridge, so she fried up the bacon.
Dude, bacon? Yeah. That's epic, bro.
It's very
that's
keto.
Like so epic, dude. Lay bacon.
Yes,
Elon
exactly
Musk.
my thought process. Okay, so there was bacon, and then she cast her gaze to the side and noticed that there were chocolate chips. So what she did was, she did that double pot boiler thing where you heat up the water and it melts chocolate. She fried the bacon, then she dipped the bacon in the chocolate and produced chocolate-covered bacon, which, frankly, had too much chocolate
even
for my
epicer.
taste. It was very, very epic. I ate it. It was good.
It seems like you would get a lot of chocolate on it.
Too much, in my opinion.
Maybe you could, thin the chocolate somehow so you could get a thinner coating.
That would have been a good idea. This was just pure melted chocolate chips.
Oh yeah, that would be so thick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about experimentation.
You're right.
With the gummies, I probably made 10 batches or so, many of which came out just absolutely disgusting before I came upon, because my goal was, because if you look up recipes like how to make gummies on the internet, what all the recipes basically say is just make Jell-O but put in extra gelatin, so it's really thick.
Yeah, okay.
And it is not the right consistency at all. You eat it and you're like, this is just thick Jell-O. No. You gotta use that tapioca starch. You gotta use that xanthan gum. You gotta use that carnauba wax. You gotta use that coconut oil or whatever the fuck you're doing. You gotta use pectin. One thing, I want to experiment with pectin.
Yeah,
pectin seems like it might be a useful ingredient in this, but I don't have any.
You know that Animaniacs ingredient song? It's you making your gummies.
No.
I have linked it here in the chat. Take a look.
Le epic chat?
That's right,
with
friend.
bacon?
Yes. Listen, I was going to say, contrary to me eating chocolate-covered bacon, this was, in fact, a great return to form for old Nate, as I worked out the entire time and was a very fit boy, and it feels great. And I cannot wait for this hellscape of a podcast to end so I can go begin Star Trek The Next Generation over from episode 1 and work out, and then get back to work on various other things, which is what I will do immediately afterward.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Still haven't started working out again.
Oh, Ben.
Every day I say, Ben, you sure aren't working out today.
Yeah.
And every day it's
Make today that
epic.
day, Ben. Make today that day.
I could.
My back was hurting. I was doing yoga. Fuck yoga. Just work out. It's stupid. Just don't do yoga. Just exercise. You'll be good. You'll be better. Yoga's not even real exercise. I don't care what they say. It's fake.
It's true.
It's stretching. It's glorified stretching, which is good, but ain't burning no calories doing yoga. Don't give me no shit about hot yoga. It's not even real.
You burn a couple.
Yeah, you burn calories. Also, literally playing chess, sitting there, using your brain at max capacity, which I prefer to do. That's hence my video gaming. I'm burning a lot of calories.
It's dude, imagine it's like Death Note, but instead of being a detective, L is just a gamer, and he's just bro.
I mean, I'm already loving this idea.
Every time, my
selling
reflexes
needed.
Are so fast. When I 360 no scope, I'm just every time I do it, I need to eat some more.
How does this map onto Death Note, though? I don't understand the connection there of this highly strained metaphor.
That's where the meme of your brain using so many calories comes in, right?
Oh, because L did that. That's why I ate so much sugar.
Obviously.
That was the thing. Right.
What do you think I was talking about?
You're okay. You're right. I see.
Hey, so I played some more Dungeons and Dragons yesterday.
Yeah.
I talked about Higgs Ozox the
That's
Dry,
right.
my frogman. He's my new OC. He's my new best friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's really coming into his own. He's really coming into his own as a character. He is he's a little bit of a He's a little bit of a voice of reason. He's very practical. He's always like, guys, no, let's not get in trouble. Guys, please. I just want to dig a hole and put water in it and just make a new little pond. I just want to live in a pond, guys. Let's not incur the wrath of the hobgoblins. Please.
Respectable.
I ordered. Do you know what Hero Forge is?
No.
Hero Forge is a website where you can go, and they have sort of a like Spore creature creator style thing, where you can sort of like customize the design and like posing of like a little figure, and you can print out like a custom miniature basically to use on like a, like a D&D like combat grid.
Can I make a very small dildo? Just very small.
Very small.
Very.
Like
that's all I can handle. I'm working my way up. Bad dragon, I'm coming for you. One step at a time.
Under 2 inches long, I think, would be the
the
maximum.
I can handle that.
But they had frog heads, so I was like, well, I have to do it. I have to give them my money now. So I made a little Higgs mini. I made a little Higgs mini, and then I was like, wait, no. I could have added mushrooms. I could have put mushrooms on the ground, and I forgot. So I sent them a desperate email. I was like, Mr. Hero Forge, sir, please, CEO of the Hero Forge Corporation, please stop
Henry
production.
Hero Forge.
Stop production, please. I need Floggy want mushrooms. And Mr. Hero Forge said, we have a 24-hour cancellation window that is meant to be used in this way. You should have canceled the order and reordered a new one if you wanted to change the design. However, I suppose since we have not technically produced the figure, we can technically accommodate you.
Nice.
So please use the attached link to send us your new design. Thank you and good day, sir. And I said, oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you. Yes, please. Thank Floggy want mushroom, please. My subplot, right?
Yeah.
My Higgs's subplot, which I have decided upon without any. I'm not telling anyone about it. It's just a thing I'm doing in the background until it becomes relevant. Every time he goes anywhere, he is scanning the ground. He's scanning the walls for like weird lichens and molds. And like every time he gets a place to rest, he's like, all right. So this weird lichen I found, like I try to like brew it into a beer. How does it taste? And
right.
And the goal is to be the #1 brewer in the weird like mining complex that he now finds himself in.
Wait, did you say he's looking for mushrooms? Did I miss that? Was that the mushroom element there, or is that side factor?
Well, there's 2 mushroom elements. There's the first is that I wanted to add them to the figure. Right. I, like on the base of the figure, on like the stone's texture he's standing on, and the second is he's looking for. Well, he's looking for like native vegetation because he's been transported to this like underground complex, and he's looking for native vegetation to make beer out of.
So he is in fact a mushroom hunter. He is mushroom hunting.
He is a brewer by trade. I mean, yeah, mushrooms and lichens. I mean, if there was regular vegetation, he would look for that too, but that doesn't exist here. So yeah, it's mostly mushrooms. He's all about that mush.
Just imagine, if you will, audience, me going sicko mode on the soundboard right now. Absolutely ballistic with the bazingas.
If he were to find a morel, for example, he would savor the flavor. It would be a delicacy. But however, it's tragic. It's tragic because his species, the grung, is immune to poison, which
so
technically means
wasted?
Huh?
So they can't get wasted?
They don't get drunk. But that's not why he does it. He does it for the flavor.
Oh, okay.
He does it for the flavor because it's a delicacy among his people. And he doesn't understand why the dry folk get all weird when they drink his shit.
Oh, okay, I see. Makes for some wacky situations. Whoops, it was poisonous.
Whoops, oh, duh, I brewed it with the slime off my back. What? Oh no,
Gross.
It gave you fucking palsy in your face.
Brewed it with the slime from my balls. I said it. Gross.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. I'm not afraid.
To
make a stand, everybody come drink my brand. It's made from semen. My own semen. It's really good. All right.
Funny fact that I stumbled upon quite by accident. Yes, Higgs is a grung. There is another player in the campaign who is a Yuan Ti pureblood. Turns out, and this is a total coincidence, that in the lore, the Yuan Ti consider grung eggs to be a delicacy when candied. But it's okay, because the explicit backstory of the Yuan Ti is that she is like a bleeding heart liberal who thinks that like other humanoids are, they technically have the right to life,
Right, I see.
She's like
They're
an animal
technically
rights.
not cringe.
She's like an animal rights activist for like humans and dwarves and elves and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
They don't deserve to be slaughtered in factories.
Interesting that you would say that. I just Googled it, and on like the, I don't know, what is this, some homebrew wiki? I don't know what this is. I assume it's D&D related, and that's relatively official. There's a quote here from the Yuan Ti race, which are big, like, Lamia-looking motherfuckers.
They come in different varieties, but yes,
okay.
they're a sort of general, like, snaky people.
Direct quote from Masters of the Forbidden City by Kodo Vidak says, quote, "The Yuan Ti cast off their humanity long ago, and with it, their sanity."
Oof.
Despite that, that's the racial divides run deep, I guess. That's a harsh criticism, but maybe not all. Hashtag not all Yuan Ti, I guess. Some can be redeemed.
No.
Hopefully.
I feel like there's was something else to say with that. Maybe I've said all I need to say about that. Oh, I did have something. I have to complain about something.
Sure.
So I've been working on, since the Kickstarter ended, I've been talking to the manufacturer. They have produced one pin so far. They are currently making samples of like 5 more of the pins that got designed, and there's
This being the RFCK Kickstarter.
Yes, the RFCK Kickstarter.
Right.
I think like 24
Certainly there aren't any other Kickstarters that you're neglecting your duties on. Certainly not. There could be.
I'm not neglecting my duties. Hey,
well.
Nexus messaged me after last episode and was like,
Yeah.
Please, sir, Mr. Boss Man, please don't bully me. Please don't tell people that I'm not done with the pages." And I said, "Hey, Nexus, listen, I own your ass, right? You work for me now. I'm gonna keep. You have to pay me I said for every month that you don't, for every week that you don't get me those pages, you have to pay me interest on their costs, and you're in the negatives now. So we're at the point now when you finally get me your pages, you have to pay me for the privilege of having them published in my work. You're
Hard to
welcome."
argue.
And he said, "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir."
Sounds like Nexus, yeah.
And I have screenshots. I have screenshots of all this.
I believe it. That's legal.
I'll post them. I'll fucking
post them. I got receipts. Why was I talking about that?
So your point being that your pins, you're moving forward on the pin thing?
Yes, all that to say, all that, everything I just said about Nexus.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. That wasn't even my main criticism. I was talking about the fucking RadCon 4 one, how you're dragging ass and fucking us all over on that Kickstarter.
Yes. Well, I said yesterday I would get it done before the podcast. I didn't get it done, but I'm going to do it as soon as the podcast ends. I'm going to go record it.
Where have I heard that?
Shut the fuck up.
Ben,
Shut the fuck up.
I was gonna tell you that you need to tell the artists who are not done yet that it's just be like, you have a week to finish it or you're getting cut. And just like...
Get somebody, I don't know. Yeah. It's a reasonable tactic to have deadlines for which there are consequences,
I mean, literally at this point, they've had so much... I mean...
It's like, you just gotta be like, look, like, the customers need the fucking comic. Like, you gotta finish your shit or I fucking can't hold this thing back forever, There has to be a deadline. There has to be a cutoff somewhere.
Yeah, at some point.
And
I guess so.
And you know who these
but then
people,
that means
first
the
of
book
all,
is shorter.
I know who one of the artists is, and I know for a fact they've done tons of other commission work in the time that they've owed you this comic. So I think you just need to tighten the noose around these kids a little bit. I know who they are.
These child slaves. You
wait.
gotta whip a little harder.
I mean, Nexus has sent me some artwork from pages. I know that he's gotten at least some of it done.
I'm just saying that he has also finished a bunch of other artwork since then.
He's the one. He's the only one that I've seen positive proof that any work has been done on it at all.
That's
that's good.
I have seen.
Oh wait, I'm not counting Gibbon and Cheesy, who are
right, of course.
I have all of the artwork for the Kuso Mega book, and I haven't even launched the Kickstarter or paid anybody yet.
I was thinking yesterday that, okay, if I do Vapors 3 Kickstarter, which I mean, I guess I will, like, I'm gonna just, like, not even launch the campaign. I'm gonna contact the artist first. I'm gonna write scripts,
good idea.
contact the artist first, tell them, hey, I want you to make this for when I make the book.
Right,
And then once they're done, then I launch the fucking Kickstarter.
Reasonable.
Or something,
That's
yeah.
the
Or
approach I
wait,
took because I
or
want to
wait,
have.
no, then I can't do them as stretch goals. Ah!
That's
Fuck. Okay,
Well,
never mind. I'll think
there were
about it.
ways. Yeah.
The point is that this, obviously this structure has the way that I planned this one out had some shortcomings, which may have become apparent.
I think next
by this
time you gotta
point.
pick artists based on who is reliable instead of who you're friends with.
No.
Unless you can train those people to become those other people.
Who is reliable except me and Cheesy?
Who
No
is
one.
reliable? Who is reliable?
I mean,
who is reliable?
I'm usually able to find reliable people, but again, part of it is you do have to turn the screws on them. Like, you know, I
have been very hesitant to turn any screws.
It's
I mean,
Why
understandable.
so?
It's
I guess I
understandable,
thought-
but like you just gotta
I guess I kind of thought, like, I am paying them. Like
money's
I am
not a
giving
motivator
them...
for artists though. They
Oh.
have to be
Yeah.
like corralled.
Is it not
like,
though?
because you have
I
to
mean,
think
pay
about
If
it
you
this
need
way.
money, it should
Ben,
be, and
Ben,
everyone
think-
needs money.
Think about why you don't do your work when you know that you need the money. Like, it's because you have like 10 ideas that all are equally interesting. And yeah, you might need the money, but will it be as emotionally satisfying as the other thing that you actually want to do today? Like, if you're not in the mentality that like you're going to do this comic, like you have to get these people to, in their minds, set aside a day that they're going to do this. You have to be like, by this Saturday, you need to pick a day that you're going to draw this goddamn comic for me, you know? Or a weekend or something.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I hate. I would never want to be like punitive about it. I would never want to be like, you failed me, now die.
But at a certain point, I mean,
but-
you gotta
Ben,
set these things
how
up.
many months
Obviously,
has
that's
it
not what
been,
you're
though?
suggesting.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
How
Huh?
many
What?
months?
How many months?
has it been?
Probably going on 6.
About tree fitty.
I mean, to be
Half a year.
to be fair, I mean, around the time that I pledged, or around when I ran my campaign, another comic artist, Emily Ree, was running a Kickstarter as well, and I pledged to that one like at the same time, like because I kind of knew her. Actually, she was one of the guest artists in the first book.
Cool.
But that is still being worked on. Also, I guess I should say that one had had not even been like, she's still drawing that one, right? But these is still being drawn. I don't know. So 6 months to deliver on a Kickstarter is not okay. Longer than I wanted. It's not ideal, but it's not an unheard of length of time.
I'm just saying, in the time
guess.
since your Kickstarter concluded, one of the guys on my Kickstarter did a 2-page comic and then a 12-page comic and an illustration, all within the span of a month, for a Kickstarter that is not even launched yet. So,
yeah,
it's all about the
Just,
motivation.
if you don't want to give him only a week, give him 2 weeks. I mean,
Well, you
They have
gotta
the
you gotta
time
get him
now.
in the
You
mood,
know-
right? Like,
you
you
know,
know what? Here's the best way to do it. Actually, even better. Don't even forget about all the ideas I had before. Invite them to do a draw call with you and draw the comics together.
what?
Like, get them all into get everybody hang out and draw comics together, and get them to do it that way, so that they can just
So they can mutually pressure one another.
well,
There's an
and
idea,
also
yeah.
hang out and talk and have a social element to completing this comic that might
That-
make it more doable for them.
I don't know about a call, but that might be a good idea to have a temporary Discord so that you can say, do your work, and they're all there, and I guess
Well,
we should.
I was thinking more like a hang, like everybody just hangs out for a couple days, talking and drawing their comics for
Like an artist retreat.
Right, exactly. Like you've all pretending as though you've all holed up in the same room to finish this comic together, you know.
And they're not allowed to leave.
Exactly. No one's allowed
Right.
to play
Yeah,
it.
that's
I mean-
the main thing.
But they won't want
personally,
to
I
leave because
find
your
it,
company
like-
is so inviting, you know.
We have beanbag chairs and standing
Exactly.
desks.
Exactly.
And tea and muns.
Yeah.
We've got muns.
I personally find it very
Food.
difficult to work when I'm in a call with people and I'm having fun.
I'm the same. Actually,
None of this
yeah,
is
I don't-
prescriptive,
I don't know if
people.
that
Be
would
creative.
If there's
exactly work for
complete
me.
silence, then maybe it works, but it's not usually complete
But I-
silence.
but
And
I
if there is
understand
complete
the
silence, people
concept.
start leaving.
Yeah.
The main thing, I don't know, whatever, fucking pressure. Like I'm doing with you right now, Ben. We're waiting on you. You are the X factor. Please
I know,
produce
I know.
thing. You say you're going to. That works
Yes,
for
yes,
me.
yes.
you
I
know?
have it. I have it
Yeah.
all up. I have the files. I was
Yeah, there you go.
typing out the lyrics so I can
Yep.
refer to them
If-
as I record.
If I have one overall piece of advice to come out of this, it's that artists are bitch mode, and the only thing that can straighten out a bitch is hard cock. So you got to really bend them over, and you got to just stick it in, and they'll learn to like it.
Makes sense.
ooh.
Hey, I have another public request for information, basically, because I don't know anybody who's far enough into it. I was talking this on my stream the other day, but I'm just putting it out here for more people to hear the
Also,
the
I really like that
question.
we just had that whole conversation, and probably all of them will hear it.
Right, which is that's good.
yeah,
that's good.
that's-
Keep the
that's
pressure
I
on,
guess
you
it's
know?
not a bad thing, but it's just funny.
I just did your job for you, basically. So
Yeah, it's a plus. All right, hey, here's my question. So there's a new
I
Shantae
want
game
my
out,
papers too.
right? There's a new Shantae game out. I love one game in the Shantae series. The rest are mediocre to okay.
Pirate's Curse.
Pirate's Curse is
That's
like my
the one you
favorite.
like,
yeah,
right?
it's
Okay.
it's great. I'm a huge fan of it. So there's a new one out, Shantae and the Seven Sirens. I have unfortunately, this is a public disclaimer / question. We were doing research a little bit. No Need Bro was looking this up on my stream yesterday or whatever, and he said that he had deduced that the power-ups that you get are like, they do not do the movement synergy that makes Shantae and Pirate's Curse like my favorite game to just play and experience the movement mechanics ever. Better than Super Metroid, better than all the other shit. It's the best. It's the best. And I heard that this new game, the Seven Sirens or whatever, just does not do that. I'm just curious, does anyone who's played the game so far, because it's been out for a while, anyone care to comment who's actually played? Because I'm not going to play this game until I hear back from this question. If the answer is no, then I'm just not going to play it.
You're asking the commenters.
Yeah, not you people, of course. I
Okay,
know. I'm asking
yes.
the commenters. This is a public request for information. Let me know. I will check the comments for that and the Star Trek shit about Enterprise. Yeah. And sorry, I
Shantae,
meant to post this visual aid.
Pirate's Curse looks
This is
pretty
your
good,
visual
but
aid
I
for
never did get
Shantae.
around to playing it.
Pirate's Curse is great.
Pretty
good. Yes, pretty good. Everyone should play Pirate's Curse. It's whatever. It's not perfect, but like the elements that are great are the best I've ever played.
That's a shame, Nate, because I only play games that are objectively perfect. So
such as
looks.
Tetris. Tetris might be objectively
Yes,
perfect.
I play dominoes.
I call Domino's and ask for 20 pizzas delivered to your house and then run away. That's how I play Domino's.
Oh, I never got around to finishing my point before. The reason I brought up the pins is because, all right, so when I used the old pin manufacturer for like the Vapors pins, all I had to do was make an image and they like converted it into a design file. This Chinese company, they won't do that. I have to give them a vector file, which I found a pretty not too difficult way to do that. It's a little finicky. I have to like convert a bitmap to a vector in a program called Inkscape. There is a function that can kind of do it automatically. I have to fuck with it a little bit sometimes, but like it's not that hard. But so that's all was for the pins, right? I had to do that for all the pins. It was kind of a hassle, but no big deal. But for the Slimecoin, have you seen the design for like the Slimecoin?
No, I haven't checked back.
Here, well, this is what it's gonna look like.
That's very.
Is it good?
It's very detailed.
It looks like the sort of there's like a physical Bitcoin design. So it looks like it's
sick.
Actually, I haven't actually posted these final designs, but this is what it's gonna look like.
Okay.
And I made these right, and like I had to take the Bitcoin logo and take the B off, and like put these new designs on, and sort of like fuck around with it to add in like the details that were missing from like removing the old piece.
Right.
And it was a lot of detail, a lot of fucking around, but whatever. It came out pretty good.
Yeah.
But then I realized this is like actually not a big file, and okay, I want to stress like this took me a lot of time to get this like just right, and I realized this is a small file. The resolution is low. I can't convert this to a vector. I have to remake this entirely as a vector, and I really don't know how. Like, I do not know how to work in a vector program. And so
shit, dog. I don't know.
I don't know if I even can. You know, my roommate was like, he made a suggestion jokingly, but it was a great idea, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to go on Fiverr and like maybe look for someone and just pay someone to do it.
That's not a bad idea.
Because I would probably spend days learning how like to like do really like delicate operations in a vector image program, and then it would take me a really long time to actually produce the image once I figured that out.
I'm all for that idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, so I might do that like tonight or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was a real headache that I was dealing with today, this week.
Whenever I'm like making a video, just as a small example, and I realized that like I found a file, I was looking at a file recently of like old gameplay, it was just like a screenshot or something, and I was like, oh no, it's too low res. I have to now go to this particular part of this video game, track down exactly when this line of dialogue is spoken, and get like a high definition version. So I do my quest for like an hour, and I don't really find much better stuff. It's just the TISM, man. This damn TISM. I hate low quality stuff when I know that better quality stuff exists. And then if it gets to a certain point, I will just have to capture things myself. But I mean, I can't justify playing like 20 hours of a game to get to one specific part for one little clip. Even though I'm sure I could get the highest quality footage that exists of this particular clip in the world. Yeah, at least it's not on YouTube. That
is it
question.
A game?
Yeah, it was a game screenshot, and I wanted that in higher resolution. So yeah, I would have to
you could try looking through long plays.
I've done that, and I won't say what game it's from, just whatever for fun. I'll let people speculate. But
Final Fantasy VII.
This particular game was from an old console. It wasn't Final Fantasy VII. It was something else. Whatever. It's from like an old console, and there are multiple versions on different platforms. So like when you try to find one, there are different versions. I'm like, okay, do I want this one? Do I want this one? There are differences between them. Which one has this exact line of dialogue? And there actually is differences between different versions that are released. So whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just whenever I deal with questions like that, it's such a headache, and I have this unfortunate compulsion to get the highest quality stuff available, and it bothers me if something's in like a lower quality that I could find. Actually, right now, I have been replaying Final Fantasy VII, and so I talked before about like the quest to get like like the mouth things fixed and like the best quality on PC that you can get. But there is like a thing I didn't do that I probably should have, which is like the CRT filter that makes it look kind of like better and more the way it was supposed to look on the original types of TVs, and I just didn't use it. But like I kind of want to and like recapture some stuff.
I'm sorry, what game are we talking about?
In this case, Final Fantasy VII. How like the PC version just has their polygons, so everything's like really blocky, but the backgrounds are pixely because they were produced that way originally.
Those like I played all those those like PlayStation Final Fantasies. I played them on the original PlayStation. I'm not particularly fussed about like visual fidelity or anything, but like the weird crispness sometimes of like those 3D, those like blocky 3D models rendered in like an HD screen.
Yeah,
on
it's
like
weird.
On like a pre-rendered background, like it looks really bad.
That's what CRT filters
me.
Exist to fix, so that they look more in the universe, and they do have a real purpose. I'm playing it like right now. Like Cloud's head is just like perfectly. Geometric.
Oh fuck. There's a video, it's from like I think it's from a pretty big channel, so I feel like people would have seen it, but there's a video explaining why like when you scroll in Mario 3, like the side of the screen has like a green line on it. You know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
That's a thing, NES thing.
Yeah. It's if you play like an emulator of Mario 3, you will see that like the right side of the screen, like as the screen scrolls, a little bit of it will just kind of be like green. And it turns out the explanation, it's something to do with the way that it draws the screen and the way that it like blocks out areas of the screen with like color palettes, and like it can't do that on like the edge of the screen, like in mid scroll or whatever.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And it's just like a weird persistent thing that like will constantly happen through the game, is the very right side of the screen will just have this weird discoloration to it.
As a programmer,
and it's
I
in
love
the game,
those details. It's really cool.
But like the funny thing is about it, and this is like the reason why they launched it that way, and like it was okay and it wasn't seen as a problem, is that on an old CRTV, usually you just wouldn't see the edge of the screen. Like they have like sort of the black sort of border around them, and it would just be covered by the television you would play it on.
Going back and playing like different versions of an oldish game, like
Final Fantasy VII like old media is like meant to be consumed in like a very specific way, in like a lower res way, and like with something like Final Fantasy VII, it just makes so much more sense looking at it in like, you know, pixelated CRT fucking quality.
That's probably like the only way that the creators like really saw it when they were playing. And like, sure, when they're designing the models,
because they're thinking like, this is how it's gonna look. When someone's playing it. Oh, okay, it looks good. Oh, wait, we're gonna upscale it and high res it and like increase the resolution, and like suddenly the resolution of the models doesn't match the resolution of the backgrounds.
The worst one is Final Fantasy IX has been done the most dirty by this process.
I know. I've seen that. It's really sad.
I have the final. I think I've already said this, but I have the Final Fantasy IX PS1 game physical. Just for that purpose, I saw it and I bought it because I knew the the HD version was so bad, so I wanted to get the real experience.
And luckily,
fucking re-release it in, just make it lower resolution. Jesus,
I mean, they would have to put
Christ.
to do that. They would have to like produce a CRT. But the thing, luckily, the modding community exists. You could
easily put a visual filter on the game that would just lower the resolution of like the backgrounds or the models or whatever, just so they fucking match.
I would love that to be an in-game option that you can just tick and then done. Problem solved.
It can't be that hard. It just can't be.
Because modders do it. It's certainly doable. Just
Boy,
like we talked about in the past, like GBA games were all really bright because the GBA had no backlight and was designed to be, you know. So like all these, it's really interesting to think about all these practical concerns that go into like engineering a piece of technology to be used in very specific conditions. It's very cool. It's very cool.
Specifically GBA games, I've never been able to enjoy emulating games that I have. I only want to play them on my little GBA that I still have.
I played a lot of GBA games on my PSP.
I'm so used. I'm so used to how it feels, like the colors with the backlight it has. SP.
Good old SP, best console ever made. Well, hey, I mean, I've said the things I came here to say. I told people my tale.
Well, I have one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Digi.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I just have to address, on the Procrastinators Anonymous, I'm continually mocked for, oh God, we're floundering. We gotta get to the voicemails, guys. I'm losing my fucking mind. I can't stand the silence.
That's how it should be. When we get to the point that we're all like, I guess we've said everything we have to say, we go to the voicemails, right?
I don't feel that is a fair representation of what I do here on the Procrastinators.
I mean, if you do that, then we all do that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
wait, is the claim that you're always the first one?
Yes, that I rush to the voicemails.
Usually, when you say it, I agree.
Oh, there you go. You see, I've been vindicated by Ben Save himself.
Anyway, Digi, I was wondering, since you are transitioning and all that, how are you going about the voice change thing?
I want to add to this. I did mean to just say, like, since everyone in the last episode was like, why isn't Digi on? I want to know. Why isn't this the Digi-née episode? Why don't we have Digi on to talk about being a girl or whatever? What's up with that? So I don't know. Put their minds at ease. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what exactly there is to say about it.
I mean, I ended up talking at length about it on the pub crawl that I did.
Satisfy them.
Yeah.
If you guys really want to hear more, you could go listen to the pub crawl. But as for the voice feminization stuff, it's really complicated because like people are sending me guides and stuff, and I'm looking into all that. And like, for me, it's not a matter of what I can or cannot do. It's a matter of like confidence and being like it's very easy for me to do all kinds of effeminate voices, but it's like, this feels strange to talk to my friends, you know, like it's
Sure.
it's
sure.
contextual. It's like, and I don't know what I want my voice to sound like. I don't know, like, long term.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to try to do is like find like voices that I want my voice to sound like, and then just copy them, you know, and like try to get it down. And then basically the same way I do everything else I do artistically, you know, copy somebody else until you find your own voice, literally. So
This would probably be the biggest artistic change in your content.
Did you?
Well, you know, it's
I
funny
was seeing
because-
on Twitter.
well,
did you put like a voice filter on videos? Is that
I
what
put
you're
one
doing
on
now?
just the pub crawl video because I had recorded that before I was even attempting to do a voice, but I released it after I'd already put out other videos where I was attempting to do a voice, and I didn't want to go back, so I like just pitch shifted it a little bit. But like, but
you won't. Well, okay.
what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say, do you want to say anything about what you're doing with the lecture video? Because you said on Twitter that you're going all out with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I already was doing like heavier editing because of the fact that it has 2 cameras. There's like a lot of stuff I can do to, you know, enhance the dynamic between the 2 cameras when I cut back and forth between them. So I was having a lot of fun coming up
Star
with
wipes, gotcha.
Indeed.
I was having a lot of fun coming up with ways to fuck with the 2 camera stuff. And I was getting pretty heavy into the editing before I went and did all the neurotyping stuff, and that's kind of what took me away from it for a while. But then I also want to add, because the Brony lecture, the way that I did it is it's kind of too dark, and I want to add some levity back into it. So I'm going to I'm going to record like another segment as Digi-née, reflecting on the experience and sort of sharing the part that I don't think male Digi-bro was comfortable talking about, I guess, you know, and like sort of evening out the odds to make it more nice, because I really think in the lecture, the way that I did it, it's pretty fucking brutal. Like I've watched the whole thing back, and it's you know, it's very aggressive towards the Brony community, even though I obviously got, you know, all of my friends, all my connections, everything I have now started there. So it's like, to come out that negative towards it, I feel like it's just like a bit of, was a bit overdone. And I'm more willing to be positive now, I guess.
My recollection of it is that, it's pretty hard on a couple of individuals who suck, and maybe critical of the whole thing, but I don't know. Was it that? Were you hard on the whole thing?
It's not so much that I was hard on it; it's that the tone of the video is very dark. Like the tone of it is like this. Like I have a lot of regrets and I have a lot of trauma related to this, and I think that for me, recording it was a way of getting a lot of that trauma off of my chest. And then, like, in retrospect, it's like, okay, well, now that I've said all that, like, I can also address the nice things that, like, maybe I just wasn't feeling as nice because I was dwelling on these things that that had kind of troubled me about it, you know? And now that now that I've expressed that, then it's like, I can now go back and say more. But, like, since I haven't released the video, why not just add that in, you know, and make it even more complete? So I'm not talking about adding, like, a ton of shit, but just like touching up certain areas where like I come down really hard on certain people or certain times, and then kind of maybe show the other side of like, okay, well, you know, it was also like this. There were these things that happened too that I didn't bring up or I don't even mention Derpy Hooves once in the whole lecture, so I had to add a whole section on her for one thing. Like,
okay,
you know,
okay, yeah,
So yeah, just stuff like that will be added in to touch it up. But
remember at the beginning of the Things You Can't Say PCB episode where Munchie and Gib did their little intro that was, guys, please don't be mad at us for being on the episode.
Don't be upset. We're still going to release the podcast where we say all this stuff, but don't blame us for it, please.
Same energy. Well, hey, whatever you think is good. Everything works. Yeah.
You know what I have just remembered?
That little piece of shit.
I am a fucking alicorn princess.
Oh yeah,
I just remembered that.
I am.
The writing was on the wall.
The writing was always on the wall. I mean, I was never subtle. I in my mind, I was never subtle about the idea that I had gender identity.
The writing was. We talked about. I think we talked about this in the Discord or in some Discord.
Yeah.
Hippo.
We talked
The
about
ring
it
was totally
in-
always on the wall.
The last
piece of
episode we
shit.
did briefly
You
touch
piece of shit.
on I said I was like
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
kick your ass. Hey, come over here
Okay.
and say that. Hey,
All
yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, get fucked. Yeah, fucking bend you over. and-
Well, here's the classic. I've never respected your opinion, so obviously you were a woman all along.
Exactly.
Boom, there you go.
Ugh.
There's the classic,
You're not
right?
the first,
Ugh.
not the first,
Yep.
but it's still, it is a classic. It's great.
No, the thing I said last time was like I saw these things, but I didn't connect the dots and I didn't see it coming because I thought it was just sort of like an anime slash digi slash haha it's funny to say gay things thing.
I mean,
What I-
all that's
what
true
I
as
said.
well. Because that's the thing. Like, I mean, I think there's a lot of people who have looked at my situation and they're kind of going like, well, wait, I do all the same things you do. So like, am I also like harboring something deeper? That's a question for all of you to find out for yourselves. But like for me, it's like, I don't think that the way that I've behaved is necessarily the way that comes the most naturally to me. It's the way that it's the way that, you know, cuts out the parts that are embarrassing, you know? Like for me, if you listen to like old podcasts, like before I really started doing tons of podcasts, before I figured out like how to sound to make people think that I sound cool, like, you know, in older stuff, I don't have nearly as sure of a voice. It sounds like I'm kind of making up a voice as I'm going. I burst into song all the time or say weird things, or like I'm just not as good at communicating because it's like, to me, there's this fundamental disconnect in like how I see myself and how other people see me, and that confusion makes it difficult to communicate, you know? And so it's like, once I figured out what elements of myself can I put forward that make sense, you know, like as being a bearded, sunglasses, you know, hobo man living in his room, like what attitudes that I have are congruent with this character that I can put into the internet. Any elements that aren't congruent with that character, I just wouldn't display in a public way or as the character of Digibro. I would in my private life, you know, and obviously all of you know me more emotionally than like the other people online would, you know, like you know more of what I'm like in person and probably have, you know, probably know that I'm less logical as I come off in like podcasts and stuff, you know, that like my IRL persona is just like a lot more unhinged in a way, and that unhingedness in my mind has to do with the like
with being a girl, right,
exactly.
just a total hysteria, hysterical.
I literally like it's so bad because because of the fact that gender really shouldn't exist as a concept or make sense, like because women, obviously there's no set of traits that is definitionally female, right? Like if women could act any number of ways. However, to have an impression of what you think a woman is that like defines it for you, that like you relate to, and then you kind of project the idea that like, okay, you know, that is how a woman behaves, and you can confirm it by, you know, knowing enough women to know that overall, yeah, most women do be that way, you know, like for me, gender realism makes me feel like more of a woman is basically what I'm trying to say. Like the more people say like, oh, this is how a woman acts, not a man, I go, well, that's how I act, you know? So it's
right. Yes. Gotcha. Insofar as the role is you know socially constructed,
right.
That's the one that is more of a
and that's why it makes more sense to me, like because and the rejection for me as a kid is like, you know, people just told me I was a girl as a kid, and I thought of it as you are categorically wrong because I'm not a girl. However, now I'm kind of thinking of it the opposite way, that like I was wrong, that like they were more correct to think of me as a girl because I would have fit better into society as a girl. Like if I had embraced my tendencies and my way of thinking and thought and like just decided to agree with everybody else and just say, oh, okay, you guys all say I'm a girl, then I am, things would have gone more smoothly for me, I think. You know, like I think it was the hassle of trying to put distance from that, like trying to say, oh, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, I like boy things, but then like utterly failing at all aspects of manhood, You know, like that's the tragedy of my life. You know.
Well, here's an interesting thought that I saw online.
Sick, dude.
There was an interesting post from one pedantic romantic that I thought was intriguing, and I don't know. I was curious what your thoughts might be. Yeah. I saw Pedro say like something like gender. What was it? Gender confusion is not a choice. Gender dysphoria is not a choice. Being trans is a choice because it's a community thing. It was like something to that effect. Yeah. And I was like, I kind of see the point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like in my mind, it's like, even though I've always had this, and this is why I thought gender fluidity was such a great term for me, because it's like I can be a woman on my own time or in my own mind and still be a man and project that outwardly. And yeah, I would agree that, like, I mean, plenty of trans people who in their minds, they're like, I am a woman. They choose to represent themselves as male because they are just not comfortable doing it the other way. You know, like the unknown otaku is an example of that. Like, identifies as a woman, does not attempt to sound like a woman because she's not comfortable doing that, you know? But like, I totally get that. But for me, it's like, well, to me, that just makes it even more confusing for people, right? Like, if I go and tell you, oh, I'm a girl, and then I act completely like a guy, you're gonna be like, well, why? What the hell's the point? You know, it's like, to me, it's like I'm not changing my behavior to act more feminine. I'm just acting more true to myself. You know, it's like whatever seems like a new behavior is just behavior that I used to have back when I was a teenager that I, you know, curbed in order to not seem this way, you know? And like to some degree, I think that everybody is obviously curbing some of their behavior. I'm not going and saying every thought that comes into my head, or else I'd be typing kill yourself 300 times a day. But like sometimes I do, and I just have to delete it each time. But like, you know, but like there's different levels of holding yourself back you can be at, and everybody has a comfort zone, you know? And like, I think that my comfort zone was to act more masculine because it means that I don't have to address this issue, you know? And I came to a point in my life where I was like, not addressing this issue is causing me more problems than addressing this issue would, I think. So let's go ahead and start working on it, you know? And that's where I'm at now. And things have been going great because, you know, when you come out as trans, you get a lot of support from that community. So regardless of what they think your other takes are. So that's been helpful.
Now stop asking for the Digi-née episode in the comments.
You got it. It's here.
I mean, it was just one episode, but I was thinking about.
I know it's just I saw it
dysphoria.
coming. I was like, oh god, now that this has happened, the comments are all going to be like, "Where's Digi? Why isn't she on to talk about the thing that she said?"
Yeah.
And it was true. You animals, you fucking animals,
too busy
you thugs in the comments. We should put you all down. We should be using live rounds because you're so predictable.
All right, let's go to the voicemails.
I was gonna fucking say something.
Yeah, all right.
I was thinking about like gender and the idea of dysphoria of it.
Oh, and
Like,
how
you know,
you're a
the whole,
secret
like,
tranny.
sex-
You're a secret trans, right, Gib? That's
No,
right.
no,
right? Yeah?
no,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no.
Possibly
like
a
the,
tranny.
sex as in like
according
sexual.
to 4chan.
Right.
Yeah, Lamau. Sex as in like gender, not gender. The sexual organs is like the difference, and the gender is like all of the societal things that are associated with one sex over the other that have been built over time to be, whatever is currently the case. Like the reason men have short hair is probably because the men fought the wars for like thousands of years, and long hair gets in the way.
Particularly once
So,
we
like,
started using guns. That's, I think, when short hair became like a masculine trait.
Yeah, so it's like things like that. They're not necessarily male or female, but they have become symbols of this or that. Clothing, skirts used to be female. I mean, they still are, but like trousers used to be exclusively male, stuff like that. And I was thinking, the idea of people being gender dysphoric is entirely based on how society pressures people to be a certain
I mean,
gender.
ideally, there would be no...
That's right.
This just wouldn't be an
That's
issue.
right.
Like, your sex would just be something that categorically is like something that you can write down for like medical reasons, but just doesn't matter. And I mean, again, there are tendencies that your sex is more likely to bring you towards. It's just like, it's a matter of, we look at things prescriptively instead of descriptively. It's like, if you are describing that most women act a certain way, that's fine. If you're saying, therefore, this is how women behave, that's where the problem lies, And like, when you like, as a child, only really have a certain impression. It's like, for me, I only really started to kind of find any sort of answer in like, why do I feel this way when I started to find out that like gender identity is apparently developed when you're like 3 or 4. And like, you start identifying the idea that there's like men and women when you're like 2 or 3. Like, you figure out that there are 2 different ones, and then you figure out which one you are before you could explain this at all, before you have any reason to like, to like choose one or the other. And so I think that a lot of men who deal with gender identity issues are ones who, are just like had way more female presence in their life than male, and like struggle to figure out how to be male. And there are 2 different roads that this can kind of go down, where either you really want to be a man, and so you need to find male role models and be more manly, and you learn how to do that. Or on the other hand, it might be, if you're like me, that you never really admire anything masculine and just end up admiring more and more feminine things as you go down, as you grow older, and start to wonder like, oh, maybe I should just like, maybe I relate to that better. And like, again, calling myself a woman, or saying like, call me she, her pronouns, or using a different voice, is really less a matter of like, I need you to do that in order for me to recognize myself. It's more, there is some degree of that for now, at least, but like, it's more that like, if you were to think of me as a woman, I think you'll understand my actions better in just a general sense, because of the cliches, because of the fact that I act like a stereotypical girl. It would make more sense to think of me as that, And like, and that's what I hope. So, and it's funny because like, in my mind, it's just as simple as flipping a switch of just like which one you're calling yourself, Oh, I'm calling myself a girl, so that's what I am. Please think of me as that. And for nobody else is it that simple, as obviously your mental image of Digibro is bearded man. So it's like, how do I turn that mental image into this picture I have on Twitter of how I feel like I look, How do I physically, or even just in audio, or even just in art, if I got to a point where I didn't want to show my face at all, like, how would I convey to you that this is what you're supposed to think I look like,
Yeah. I was having similar, like, well, not similar to you specifically, but just like it brought on like questions that I was asking. And ultimately, I think it's really just that I have things that I like in both gender areas.
I think a lot of
and
people
so do. Like there's no reason for me to pick one over the other, or to like, like make like even if I lean more heavily to one side than the other, that doesn't mean I should like do anything about it. It just means I have a lot of varied interests, and some of them aren't masculine.
Definitely.
And that's just that's just how it is.
I was thinking the old line is like why is anyone gotta pick one or the other? Why, I don't feel like I don't insist on any pronouns or anything. I don't feel like a man or woman. I just feel like me. And I always felt that way. I always was like, yeah, I'm with that. But is the logical conclusion of that like, oh, we should all be pronoun. We should all put any pronouns in our bio. I don't know if everyone is just themselves.
A large part.
Maybe
I would just love to just banish genderedness from the language specifically, because
it's a real shame. It's a real shame that we're saddled with this. Like,
we are
with the gender binary in our language.
It's purely linguistic, and I would love.
It's like
to
an accident of history that is like annoying.
Because I just want to operate in the world, just not offending anybody, and I really just want to do my own shit. But the language itself forces you to some degree to like take positions, and it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
It isn't. Yeah, it is. Yeah. They
It
fucked
could be
up.
worse. It could be
Bad
like
game design.
Spanish,
Like
where
Spanish.
like literally
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
even fucking finish a sentence without the gender.
Oh yeah.
You can't. You have
every
to
single
specify
word
the
has a
gender of
gender.
your like bridge or your like
Like bridges are masculine, tables are feminine,
Yeah.
like all these weird things.
And like I
Quit it out, Europe.
I think gender has a usage like in culture to like culturally be useful as like, you know, people kind of orbit around these sorts of traits in general. You know, okay, there's utility to that. But then of course, because it's not a perfect system, there's all kinds of complications that come up, and now we're dealing with one of many of them. I don't know, man. We'll just see how it goes.
I mean,
guess.
they're based on patterns that do exist.
Right,
you know?
right.
And
They're based on
that's fine
patterns,
and
but they are
everything.
cringe.
Men typically better, just, you know, across the board.
Yes,
looking real
better
good,
and worse.
winning the war, as far as I'm concerned. But where would we be without our underclass? You know, we'd have no one to feel better than. So they're important
right.
as well.
That's right.
Thanks, guys. Ladies,
Hey, update on the hand situation.
Yeah?
The tingling.
We've been waiting for it.
Subsided.
Oh,
we
that's
did
great.
it.
Hell yeah.
It was
Hit
just
that
a social
soundboard,
construct
Nate.
after all.
Hit that celebratory soundboard.
Bruh, bruh,
Bruh,
bruh,
bruh, bruh, bruh.
Bazinga! I will eat your ass. Thank you, Alex. Eleazar,
Yes.
mix that in. Put that in. Thank you.
It's over the top of
over
us
what I
saying it.
said. Please just mix that in as well. All right. Well, hey, I've got. The audience has asked, and I have delivered a humble 2 voicemails. One of which
Amazing.
I didn't need
Really?
to play, but I thought, hey, there's 2. We can afford to play 1. Which was, I thought we'd give an opportunity to the man who left 16 voicemails last time. And this is just his. Okay, so SpeakPipe people, link down below. Leave voicemails. I think I am upping my standards in real time, so I think I'm generally playing less. Just don't really need that many. But okay, here we go. So this is hear me out. Promise I'll cut it. Okay, and go.
Okay, hold on, hear me out. I know what you're thinking. In the last voicemail I sent, I was like, yo, this is the only one I'll do for a little bit. But in the last
Oh, yeah, you
PCB
said another one.
episode, you
Yeah.
said I could do 3. So let's just have this compromise at 2. This is I'll lay it off for another like week or so.
Why do we need 3?
I don't know.
Hear me
I don't
out.
know.
This is why I
This
sent
is
like
why,
a shit
yeah.
ton of voicemails and shit. I mean, I didn't even realize it was like 16. But it's basically just because I have no friends that like the stuff I like. Because I have
Aw.
friends, but
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't.
okay.
I share not that many common interests with them and stuff. So and then I like talk to you. I not really talk to you. I like send voicemails to you about shit I'm thinking about, and then you can actually like talk about it. Because you mostly share like a decent amount of common interests with me, just throughout all the members of the PCP and stuff. And it got to my head. Like, I was just like, man, if I just send like 20 voicemails, I'll get featured in like 3 of them. But I should have been
I'll be,
thinking
like, half
like,
the episode.
oh, yeah, I should send like really good voicemails. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Yes.
3
Yes.
of them, and then
Yes,
I'd get
correct.
featured all of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that.
Hey, man.
So
Okay,
I'll try to fix it in the
I'm
future.
All right, that's enough.
Wait,
And
just-
All right,
yeah,
got it.
I don't know.
Understood.
Christ.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shoot me a DM. I'll let you into my now free Discord server, and you'll be able to talk to some people with similar interests.
Yeah.
Join Pantsu Party's Discord server too.
I-
once it gets
Yeah,
opened
yeah.
up.
That was
Beware
the-
of that parasocial relationship.
that was the
you're
worst
building there.
voicemail I've ever heard. Voice jail. Voice
Come on.
jail. That's the worst excuse. I mean, I'm so I get it.
Yeah.
But like, come on.
I know it doesn't excuse. Okay, I mean, hey, I chose to play him, but he left far too
Yeah.
many. By the way, this person doesn't have a name, and that bothers me. I want to give him a name because he's not
I feel like
claiming
I've heard
one.
that.
Tiny
voice
Tim.
before.
Tiny Tim, there. Okay, there it is. You're Tiny Tim now. Congratulations, the smallest man I've ever seen. I'd let him off the hook for that one. That wasn't that bad. I just
It's. I mean, if he doesn't have,
I
anyone
don't
to
have
talk
my
to,
friends.
join,
Don't share my friends. Don't share my interests. So I'll just send my thoughts to the Pro Crastinators
I mean,
podcast.
I feel like he's learned his lesson
Yeah, me
because
too.
Nate yelled at him.
Sure,
But don't.
this is
I mean,
a great
if you have-
example. Don't be like this.
Right.
You know, we've had a redemption arc here. I hope.
Tim is grown.
Yeah. like it's not like it feels like you're forming a strong parasocial relationship with the PCP.
I gotta say, yes, my thoughts as well.
Try not to do that. You can send questions if you have something you want us to discuss, but I would encourage instead to go to the Discords.
So go to patreon.com/theprocrastinators.
There's
$5 bonus episodes and the Discord.
Go to Bug Saints wormhole and talk about how we need a communist revolution.
And we also need to elect Michelle,
for ombudsman.
What's the word I'm looking for? Isn't there a word for like a fat queen or like a what am I thinking? Oh, size
That's
queen.
it.
We need to elect Michelle
queen.
Size queen. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Little
Nido
different.
Queen.
She's a size queen too. That's all. Yeah, that's good. Okay, well he's been set straight. Tiny Tim, thank you for your call.
That's
don't
just
do it
his
again.
name now.
All right, we're going for quality now. The standard has been set. There you go. Okay.
How many more?
This was the one other, and this is it. And this
Oh my
was
God,
the
this is
best
unheard
voicemail.
of.
So keep that in mind and let that affect your perceptions. Okay. This is the long-awaited chronicles of an American hero, Part 2. Remember Part 1? I remember.
No.
I laughed. Okay.
Nope.
Well,
Could you refresh me?
he just had a crazy story about a school shooting, only he was at his house. I think the cops raided. It was a funny story. It was a linguistic masterpiece. That's all I remember. But let's let him take it away with Part 2. Go.
It's Saturday morning. I've zoomed over to the local shopping mall, where I'm enjoying the high life, smoking crystal meth behind the dumpster of an Auntie M's pretzel shop with my anime body pillow, a far better companion than any lowly piece of garbage 2D girl. After my scheduled smoke break, I head back to stun the
3D.
haters, doing kickflips on my sick-ass skateboard down the stairs, and I head to the Central Plaza. There I see the worst threat to America at large, a large person in a Chuck E. Cheese mascot suit.
Oh, no.
Recognizing him as a ploy to indoctrinate young children to a degenerate furry lifestyle, I throw him into a fountain, waterboarding him. As I pull him out of the water for a short reprieve, and he pleads for mercy through his cold, dead, onyx eyes, deep black like the police lineup for a drive-by shooting in the ganglands of Chicago, I deny his cries and dunk him in again, melting him into the ether as my meth strength bulges through my veins. Another job well done.
Yeah. That's it. All right. Great. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I like
I was
the part
entertained.
about
Good
the
story.
meth straight.
Meth strength was my favorite part.
Kill the mouse.
No doubt. Kill the mouse, dissolve into ether. Fantastic. All right, well there you go. That's all the voicemails today. See people. I'm taking feedback. I appreciate the input.
Close your eyes.
Leave yours.
Imagine the bugs.
Imagine them.
Imagine them crawling all over you.
All into your wormhole. ladies and gentlemen.
Dissolve.
Hey, but leave more. Hey, of quality at SpeakPipe link down below. Those cucks are still letting us record more. I haven't emptied it at all. This is absolutely embarrassing. It's like that at one episode of Bible Black that I don't watch.
We're basically looting them.
And it feels great. It's like that one episode of Bible Black that I always skip on a rewatch, where they do the inflation and they fill Professor Kadami, the redhead. They fill her with water, and it's way gross, and I'm not into that, so I don't watch that. I don't know about you, but episode 3, no thanks. It's not like that at all. It's like SpeakPipe is filled with excellent
Obviously,
voicemails.
Nate's favorite episode of Bible Black.
Where's that episode 4? I always confuse the two. Okay, in any case,
No, you're just feigning you don't know
I would never. Oh yeah.
to cover your tracks.
What else? Okay, hey, Twitter updates, more Rycon stuff. We're working on it. Twitter there at TP Crastinators on Twitter. SpeakPipe, you already said that. Patreon.com/theprocrastinators. There will be a new bonus episode out by the time you hear this. Guns versus swords. We settle the debate at long last. Who's won? Who's next? You decide. Salvage or slaughter. Guns versus swords.
Who was on that episode? Was Jesse there?
Yeah, I think it was
He
you,
was.
me, Digi, and Jesse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's like the first bonus episode I've been in like 2 years.
In like a year or two. Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that.
But there it was, and what a good time was had by all. Actually, that was a good episode. You should legitimately go listen to it. It was a topic episode like the olden days. So give it a shot. $5. What a steal. And whatever. Fuck it. That's it. That's all you get. I could do this for 10 minutes longer, easy, but I'll let you off the hook. All right, that's it. BCP episode done. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week and we'll do
Oh no!
more shit.
I feel another tingle. I feel another tingle in my
Tingles,
finger.
bro.
Oh no, he's gonna die.
God.
He's gonna die right now.
Oh god!
Tarar,
I need to go.
I'm coming.
Someone call 911. Call 911. Call the
No,
fucking.
Ben's gonna
call the
die.
tingle, please.
I can't believe
No,
it.
don't. They're busy.
I'm gonna die live on air at the moment.
Busy
At the moment this
defending CNN
episode
from
ends.
continued raids. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.